Okay, and today I am successfully not muted. Wonderful. So, it is time. It is time for the finals of USA Cup. We're going to co-cast with Ornlu. We'll start in a bit. He'll join us. And we have Daniel versus Smokey coming up. Let me start AV2. There we go. Always good to start the game we're going to cast. Hello, Black Drizzle. How are you doing? And hello, D-Schwalm over on YouTube. Hello, hello, hello. And so welcome everyone. Big matchup here. Fortunately for T90, he did lose to Daniel. And also lost to Smokey earlier. So these two definitely deserve to be here in the finals. You're hot? Is it warm where you are? As long as you're not burning. You don't want to burn. I got sunblock with me ready for Brazil. I don't know what type of weather to prepare for in Sao Paulo, because I guess technically it's like winter there? How do seasons work in the southern hemisphere? Do we call it winter because it's cold now? Or do we call it summer and summer is just cold? I guess I'll have to figure that out. Opposite of northern hemisphere, so we do call it winter then. That's the opposite, is what I'm getting. And I know it's like the opposite temperature. Okay, winter from June to August. Okay. It's been a hot week for you, and today's hopefully the last. A little greater than 30. I would love greater than 30 weather when I travel. That's great, because then you don't need to bring a heavy jacket with you when you travel. It's going to be probably super hot when I go to the airport. I don't know if I want to put my jacket in my luggage or wear it through the airport. This is kind of annoying to carry it on a plane. But it also takes up a lot of space in my bag. I don't know how much space I'll actually need though. Well, we'll see. We'll figure it out tonight. Hello, Archfrost. How you doing? So, yeah, let me YouTube live chat. There we are. So, yeah, welcome in everyone. Hope you are ready for some USA Cup, and then tomorrow evening I'm going to travel. Don't know if I'll stream in the morning before I head to the airport, but I'll probably try to do an airport stream at JFK. Don't do well above 25. Oh, 25 is like kind of where I need to be like greater than or equal to 25 for the temperature. I'm going to do like 25 C to F real quick. That's like 77? Yeah, 25 is like where I start to feel warm. That's where it starts to get nice. Ornlu says yes. Yes is in go, or yes is in he will let me know. Let me change my Twitch title. USA Cup Finals. Daniel versus Smokey. Hosted by at Paradox 303 and at AceJohn65. Exclamation mark USA Cup. Exclamation mark donate. Boom. Hello, Umbral Candles. We had 100 plus degrees. I used to go running in 100 plus degrees. I would still today if my knees didn't hurt. I kind of like that temperature. Just need lots of sunblock. Temperature doesn't bother me so much as the UV radiation burning me. You're nuts. That's the great thing about growing up in New Jersey. We had all 4 seasons. We had 100+ degree summers. We had below 0 winters. And you go running in all of it. You have hurricane season. Lots of rain. Running in the rain was great. That's the best, when you have like a high 70s, low 80s day with a very light rain. That's perfect running weather. Overcast, so there's not much sun out. Oh, that's beautiful. The key to running in the rain is to make sure you have sunglasses on. That way the water doesn't get in your eyes. Oh yeah, we also had high humidity. My relatives from New Mexico who had a cattle ranch in the desert would always... It would be super hot out there, but it was not humid. They'd come out here and they'd die from the humidity. Only positive vibes. Hello, hello, hello. Hope your day is filled with some positive vibes. And let's see. I don't know if this is a best of 5 or best of 7. I think it's a best of 7, so I put that on my scoreboard. Let me see. There's so many channels. Important links. Handbook. And do we have a finals? Control F. Finals. Best of 7. Good. Best of 7. So I'll need to redo the civs and the drafts and whatnot, but we'll do that when we get a draft. Look at that, the bot's working today. I'll remember to turn it on. Also, the spec dashboard now has private drafts if you want to practice your drafting. Ooh, we do have drafts, actually. The drafts are done. Wait, chat, the drafts are done. Daniel Random Socotra. Keep it up, T-West. Amazing cast. We haven't casted anything yet. Alright, let's see. If I replace the Civ draft, does that work? Ooh, hold on. Yes. Yes. Alright. So you three come up here. Boom. Okay, replacing the map draft. Good there. Up just a tad. And okay, we can see the map draft. Civs might need a bit of work. See what we can do with the civs. Yeah, it's gonna be on 2 rows. Let me see what I can do with this. I should be able to get it so it's like 2 rows of civs. Not quite, not quite. Almost. There we go. Alright. I just gotta show the bands. Alright, we got the bands. Need to center it again. That looks just about centered, but the maps then all have to go up. We'll move it up and resize it slightly once we get it all in position. Let me make sure we're centered though. I gotta zoom in for this. Make sure we're centered. Looks about centered to me. Alright, move it down. There we are. Okay, now we group all of you again. Take the group itself now. Move the group up slightly. Get ever so slightly smaller. Center that now. There, how's that looking? I think we got a good draft there. Now we just gotta copy and paste a couple of duplicates. That way all the stuff has a darker background. I should one day figure out the CSS so that I can just make the background darker without copying and pasting. But copying and pasting has worked. So, a lazy solution. Always better than taking, the solution that takes 10 seconds every time is always better than the solution that'll take you 5 minutes to do once. Graveyards, is that from the original AOC ES maps? That is where Graveyards originated, but this is its own version of Graveyards. Let's go up slightly more. Try to get the balance between the webcam and the scoreboard better. There we go. Also, the randoms in Coach is great. Daniel just got to the end and he was like, yeah, just random. So I'm glad that we do have Arena and Voyagers for Smoky. Arena, Voyagers, and Migration feel like very Smoky maps. Daniel has more of the standard maps. And then Evacuation's kind of a mixture between crazy and standard. It depends on how quickly you evacuate. Where's to Live by Hello Drex. Hiding from the Texas heat. I use Texas as the thumbnail for the USA Cup images. Because what could be more appropriate than Texas? Signal the United States. So we will be co-casting with Ordlo at some point. Let's see, is Hera practicing the maps? Oh no, he's just playing Arabia. He's tryhard Arabia, but just Arabia right now. No Arabia. Ornlu ready, yes. Let me call Ornlu. And you, chat, will have to tell me that whether or not you can hear him. Hope you'll be able to. Let's find out.
Hello there.
Hello, Ornlu. I'm knocking.
Knock, knock, knock. Oh, he's a knocking.
Knocking on Ornlu's door. Did this work? Are the chats combined? Did this actually work
Oh my
first
goodness,
time?
it worked!
Look at that. Well, I don't think it's ever worked like that before. Maybe Twitch made an improvement on their end. Who knows? Where did all my books go? Exclamation mark books. People are going to be asking that. I'm getting I need to remove furniture out of this room because there's like on the wooden floor there are like some like cracks or boards that are broken and I'm getting them repaired. But I need to get the furniture out so I can get to the floor, and the books are heavy, so I can't move the furniture if the books are there. So I've moved the books.
Oh, our house literally has probably thousands of books in it. I know the feels there.
Or in Brazil, not yet. Not yet. Tomorrow. Or Monday.
Are you stopping in Panama, or do you have a direct flight?
I have a direct flight.
Oh, nice.
That's what it's like living near JFK. Tend to have direct flights most places.
Yeah, I checked once, and there are some direct flights and some that stopped in Panama.
Yeah. The hard thing, though, is that I have to go past the World Cup to get to JFK.
Oh, that's right. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, because MetLife, where the Giants play, is hosting World Cup games. Thankfully, there's no game on Sunday when I'm traveling tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
There's a game today.
Well, there are games every day. It's just a matter of if there are any at JFK.
Or they're in New Jersey, but I have to go through Jersey to get there.
Anyway, it looks like the draft is done.
This is a very on-time draft.
Yeah, these guys are good.
And they're in evacuation. They're going. We're just getting ready here.
Oh my goodness gracious, I need to launch the game.
Yeah, it's Persians, Japanese on evacuation.
Persians and Japanese on a hybrid map? Say it ain't so.
It is so, Ornlu. They made it so.
Oh boy. Are we known for our punctuality?
Depends on what part of the U.S. you're in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, different regions are more punctual. Some have a more laissez-faire attitude with regards to time.
Indeed, indeed.
All right, so here we are. We will have Daniel as the blue Persians to the northwest and Smokey as the yellow Japanese to the southeast.
All right, I am just launching the game.
Oh my gosh, this game's been out for what, 7 years? You'd think opening the game would be something they figured out by now.
No, okay, we're in game. It was just loading up there real quick.
All right, so evacuation. This is the cracked terrain map from Hidden Cup 5. You can flee the cracked terrain for the stability of the grass terrain. Should you want access to some boars, some cattle, some deer, some berries, some wood, and also a treasure trove of one relic in the mountains.
What a treasure trove. All that loot that means nothing.
What a cute map this is. Actually, I think when I did all those 36 by 36 extra small maps, evacuation, I think, was the prettiest.
What was it, just like a little bean with a stream around it?
Basically. I cliffs, when you use the random map scripts, have a section called cliff generation that randomly places some cliffs on the map. But they have a hard-coded distance away from the players. So when I made the 36 by 36 map, I actually had to hard-code and manually type in cliff positions because the map was too small to generate cliffs.
Oh no. There must be a dragon living in the mountain. Oh, they have to slay the dragon. There is a dragon in the game.
There's a typo. It should be Voyager is the map's evacuation. If there's a typo on the draft, that's the draft's fault. That's not my fault. Might be looking at the draft.
Anyway, we've seen this map play out quite a bit in tournaments ever since it was introduced in, I believe, Hidden Cup 4.
5.
Oh, was it 5? Oh, because it was in TTL as well. That was it.
Yeah, it was in TTL.
I know.
I know my numbers, Ornlu.
Yeah. Moral of the story is that the meta has evolved from being more focused on a little bit of water control, but really playing hard to get to the land, to swinging very heavily in the other direction and just playing out like a very aggressive hybrid map, like it was High Tides or something. Now, this is the first time, at least I'm seeing it post-water rework, because I didn't see it that much in this tournament, so you have more experience with how it works out these days.
Honestly, I'm still kind of questioning every single map with the water rework. It's so weird that you can garrison the fishing ships, and there was just a balance change that now the docks don't shoot arrows in the Dark Age. You have to wait until Feudal. So that changes things even more.
And even in Feudal Age, it's only one arrow, so it doesn't deal all that much damage.
Yeah, the one thing it does kind of stop is forward docks if you're docking next to your opponent's dock, where they can then shoot the villager. But usually not something you see on this map.
Yeah, sometimes we'll see a forward dock on, like, halfway-ish between the two players, but nothing directly next to your opponent. We see a lot of Metadarm rushing on this map, and that's certainly something to keep an eye out for with the Japanese. But Persians likely just going to want to play a bit more of a defensive style, get the ships going, get the eco going, and Daniel really going to try and leverage his advantage there, because he should be the pretty heavy favorite in this set.
Yeah, Daniel, the #1 USA player for a long time now, kind of took over from Spring many years ago, even before the launch of DE, and hasn't really had much competition at all. He's just heads and tails ahead of everyone else. Smokey, though, he's been improving a lot. Both these players had beaten T90, Smokey in the group stage and Daniel in the playoffs. So Smokey earned his spot here in the finals to try to be one of the few players. I think Daniel's only lost one single game, one against Masty so far this tournament.
Oh, wow. Well, congrats to Maesty. At least taking a game off of Danny Boy. But we are indeed on the way up to Feudal Age. Daniel will be up slightly faster with the power of Persians and a little less idle TC time. But interestingly, no swordsman yet. Now, the barracks is coming in, and we have to imagine that the swordsman will be on the way. But because this barracks in uptime is slightly delayed, chances are the militia will not be there in time for Feudal Age.
Yeah, the way Daniel's walling, he's being very defensive. I've never seen someone wall like this on evacuation, and palisade walls will not hold up on the cracked terrain all that well.
No, they will not, but at least they'll be in Feudal Age. They'll have the 250 HP instead of the 150 HP. But if Daniel just drops an archery range, just assuming that his opponent will be playing aggressive swordsman, and he sees that right now with his scout, very well timed there from Daniel. I mean, he knows what's up. He'll be able to drop that range immediately.
And he has gold there. He has a Vil on the gold, so it looks like it'll be archers for him. And where does he put the range? Pretty close to the TC even. So it'll be hard for men-at-arms to pressure that range. They'll have to go for the palisades, where he's already pretty well secured.
Yeah. It's all good, Tetris Cycling. I actually don't think I have the USA Cup logo anymore, but...
Oh, there are a couple logos.
Yeah. I think I deleted it after I got eliminated, and I hadn't found any more.
Deleted it after you got eliminated. Wow.
Yep. I won my first set 3-0, and then I lost every other one.
Oh, no. Yeah, that was one heck of a 3-0. I remember casting that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, well, here come the men-at-arms.
Downhill on the cracked terrain. That palisade does not stand much of a chance. The archer is out, but it's still going to be tough to make sure that these men-at-arms stay out. There are 2 villagers here, but that lady is kind of walking in the wrong direction. Spearman will be joining the party as well. And Smokey's got to be careful.
Yeah, that was really well done from Daniel. The spear on the outside of the wall keeps the scout away, and the archer on the inside keeps the men-at-arms away. Now, Smokey's just going to run in circles and try to get the spear to run into the men-at-arms, but Daniel's careful not to take a hit. And he can move out with the archers now.
Yeah, couple archers here, and really this is about as safe an approach as you could ask for Daniel. He's a little bit behind in resources. He isn't Japanese. The fishing ships weren't out immediately, and even his fishing ships are actually kind of inefficient at the moment for some reason. But really, this is all about surviving that early game of the Japanese, because if that can happen, Daniel's 3 villagers ahead, and he'll be in a really good spot to take the mid-game.
Okay, one archer being picked off, but the men-at-arms... Oh, both scouts die at the same time for the TC.
Double kill.
Smokey coming forward with the skirm now. That'll help out against the archers. So now you get to that point where it's kind of skirm archer versus archers? How do you transition here?
Well, it's a little awkward because now that all of the natural food sources have run low and because these hybrid builds are so tight, you really don't have much in the way of food eco. You got 4 villagers to the south just now taking a deer. You've got your 4 Japanese fishing ships, but that still leaves you with a fairly inconsistent income, and you can see 4 farms coming in right now, but it's going to be very difficult to afford skirm production, which is likely in part why Smokey has switched back into archers.
Yeah, Smokey also sending a Hulk forward. If you're going with only one ship, I think the Hulk usually is the best choice because you need more than just one galley to clean the Hulk. If you go with the fire, then a Hulk can come out.
Indeed, and the Hulks are also quite fast at killing the fishing ships, unlike galleys, so that is very nice there, and one fishing ship will be going down here for Daniel, as Smokey really trying to not let his opponent have any room to breathe.
Yeah, that was great timing from Smokey getting the Hulk in at the same time as Daniel had to quick wall. So he's walling with the houses, not paying attention to the fish. Finally garrisons, but he might lose the second fishing ship. Down it goes.
Oh, and he didn't garrison because he didn't react, because right now Daniel's having to defend from this pressure on the land, and it's all about forcing errors from your opponent. Make them look in 2 different places at once, and chances are something will fall through the cracks. And right there, those cracks ate up the fishing ships, T-West. Fell right into the
They
chasm.
did. And Daniel had to send 5 vills to repair that house, put out those fires. As wherever there's Smokey, there's fire, apparently.
But I was gonna say he's making hulks, not fires.
Daniel forward now.
Couple archers go down, and Daniel just has this group of 3 archers with fletching, and that's all you need. Those villagers are going to be in a pretty precarious way. You're going to have to micro and try and snipe the low HP archers as best you can. But right now, those villagers are in trouble.
Yep, and Daniel could see the deer in the fog of war, so he knew exactly where to send those archers. And Smokey has to chase now, but doesn't quite have the numbers. He might be able to dance a bit.
Oh, we can get that last shot in. Okay, it's only 1 archer, and obviously 1 archer is going to be focused now. That is the exact way that you had to take that fight for Daniel. Pull the villagers towards the archers, force Daniel's archers into Smokey. Smokey gets the range and gets the kills. Really nicely done.
Oh, a second, Orlu, my webcam broke.
Uh-oh.
We're just going to turn that off.
Oh, well, I also had all of my sound settings set for solo casting, so the game sounds were super loud. So
that's fine. Well, let me adjust some Windows devices. See, maybe I can restart this. All right.
All right. Professionalism has been restored. 2 ranges here for Daniel, 2 docks producing fishing ships. He's really looking to lean into that eco. But what's interesting is that because of that very passive approach, Smokey's ahead to Castle Age. He's still ahead in resources despite his villager discrepancy.
Yeah, that's what the Japanese can do too with their fishing ships. It's a bit of a Hulk battle on the water. By and large, Smokey's been fishing uncontested. And when you do that, you basically have a better eco than pretty much any civ. Persians can get more villagers, but they have to spend food to get more villagers. The Japanese kind of just get ahead for free.
And that's always the conundrum with Persians, is that it's a huge eco you can get, but it requires so much more investment than any other civilization. It's honestly a pretty interesting bonus in how it actually plays out. And right now, that timing disadvantage could be a real issue, as we do live in a very timing-oriented metagame.
All right, and now Daniel, not able to raid the wood line. Japanese, what do you do if you get up and you're the Japanese? Because these days, they usually like going cav archers. But that opens things up for a skirm play when Daniel's already on double ranges and can just pump out skirms.
Yeah, and Daniel, with his huge eco, might be comfortable just making skirms. You can see, guys, that he is going to be catching up in resources right about now. I mean, it's 52 to 42 villagers. The issue is going to be that Daniel's still in the feudal age, and I mean, I know you research Castle Age 10% faster, but that is not going to be able to overcome this monumental timing advantage that Smokey has, and he does need to make use of it.
Yeah, monumental. He's going to get extra pop space like he's controlling the Royal Albert Hall almost.
Oh boy.
His bod can immediately
the monument in Evilo 2.
Evilo 2 with what was that? That's the one with the horny AI taunting you the whole time, right?
Yep. The woman character that was clearly written by a man. Crossbone's gonna be in though, guys. Bodkin is in as well, and at the very least, despite Daniel's lethargic Castle Age time relative to his opponent, he's keeping Smokey on his side of the map. So that's gonna buy Daniel a lot of time and space, which is just what he needs to leverage that 11 villager lead.
Look at that crossbow fight, cleaning up all of Daniel's feudal army. Has a few skirms to defend the TC builders from the follow-up.
That fight was, much like Cameron Diaz in The Mask, Smokey!
I've never seen that movie.
Oh. That was a line that Jim Carrey had. At least Bebe Cakes gets it.
Someone will get Ornlu's joke.
Yep. There you guys go.
Alright, so Castle Age coming in for Daniel. He's going to get Forging. Does Forging affect the Hulks now? Is that part of the patch? Hulk versus Hulk? Looks like no.
That is not currently in the game, T-West.
Oh, wait. Wasn't that patched?
That is not in the game right now, T-West. Maybe that will be in a future patch, but
okay, I thought that was the patch notes for the when they changed the dock arrow thing on the docks.
No, that wasn't it. Because that's affecting the pierce damage, not the melee armor.
Okay, I thought there were more changes there. You know me, I never know what's actually in the game.
Honestly, me neither. It's really hard to keep track of everything. Like, there was a time when I feel like I knew almost all the stats in AoE, and now it's just like, I don't know.
Okay, well, what I do know is Smokey just lost all of his fishing ships. Finally,
Yep.
Daniel taking the water, but at the same time, Daniel's losing a lot of vills. He was mining gold outside of his walls. The vills tried to pathfind around a blacksmith instead of deleting a house, and they all just got massacred by those crossbows. And Daniel's not even microing the skirms, they're going down too.
Honestly, the leftover Feudal Age Men-at-Arm getting a little bit of extra value. Some knights are on the way for our Persian player, but only a 4-vil lead, and that's with his fishing ship advantage at the moment. Smokey's getting his third TC down. His more terrestrial economy is going to take off, and what those two TCs further help him do is secure that land control, which is going to be the more important area as the game goes on. So honestly, game number 1 here, the scores are close, but Smokey's looking pretty good.
He has a pretty good army of crossbows to defend Daniel, working, interestingly, leather archer armor before elite skirm. You don't see that too often.
No, I'm not too sure why, honestly.
He doesn't have crossbows. There he goes, elite skirm. This doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because, guys, Elite Skirmisher gives you 1 more Pierce Armor anyway, so it is strictly worse, or at least less important than Elite Skirmisher, which, of course, improves the unit in many other areas as well.
Why is there no Wikipedia page for Smokey? I don't think Smokey's really played in a lot of tournaments, honestly.
Is he young? I mean, I know him as of recently, but I don't remember him being like an old name in the community.
Yeah, I don't either. So here we have a knight from Daniel. Smokey's microing those crossbows as best he can, but now that all the upgrades are in for the elite skirms, it's hard to take that fight when the crossbows only do 1 damage.
It's really tricky. Like when I had to try and use plumed archers against knights or cavalier with Hobart yesterday, doing 1 damage. That was not the most fun thing in the world, but the monks are about to be out, and that's not really the unit you want against skirmishers either.
Not really. I mean, it does help in the small numbers. No ballistics for either player.
No, but honestly, the micro's been very solid for Smokey. We know Daniel is a great micro player. He always has been. But Smokey able to keep pace with him. And, I mean, right now, T-West, I really like his position more going forward.
Yeah, it's tricky, though, because a couple of knights coming in from Daniel and Smokey's starting base on the cracked terrain. He's taking some damage there. And he might need to evacuate. He actually might need to fully evacuate, because there's no more gold here for him to take.
Name drop right there. But yeah, I mean, the skirm numbers are slowly climbing. The knights give you that extra mobility. But there's a monk there, and if Smokey's paying attention, 2 monks even. Uh-oh, that is not what Daniel wants. Double delete right there. I mean, he saves a little bit of value. Boson now coming in here for Smokey as well. And, I mean, it feels like our yellow player's starting to get a grip on this one.
Yeah, and over on the dock, he has 1 fishing ship, and that's it. But it's full crossbow against full skirm right now, and eventually that swings to the skirm player if there's no swap. We have Smokey adding in a workshop now, so he might go for mangonels or for scorpions to help complement the crossbows in this fight.
Yeah, especially because the knight numbers are now relatively low as you've been getting some good conversions. Oh, but the monks are far forward. You'll get 2 conversions on the skirms, and honestly, that could have ended up worse, but still, you don't want to be trading monks for skirmishers. Point is, though, the mangonels are going to be an excellent defensive tool, and yet Daniel is actually closing in on a castle, so an aggressive castle drop could be exactly what our blue player needs to come back in this one.
Yeah, and this suddenly now comes down to mangonel micro. The skirms will keep the crossbows away, so Smokey can't deny a castle with crossbows. It would need the mangonel to deny a castle. And here come the vills. Here come the vills. Forward workshop
siege
first.
Workshop is being built. The mangonel has finished construction. Both players housed. I mean, it's a rough housing market here in America, TOS. It's not surprising.
Yeah, it is. But 0 stone for Smokey. There's the castle. Here's a mangonel. Can Smokey one-shot the castle foundation? He doesn't see the vills.
Mangonel's not in range. No way. Nope.
Oh, nope. So the
Ballistics
castle
is about to be in here.
Castle will start. There's ballistics.
Oh, and the Knights are here. Where is the army of Smokey? Oh, this positional disadvantage could cost him. Yeah, he's killing a few vills on the other side, but this is the most important aspect of the game, right here where the castle is. And
Yeah, he
right
went
now,
to
that is
raid.
going up unopposed.
He went to raid the other side, but that's going to be tricky when he doesn't have ballistics actually to do damage, and that leaves the castle up unopposed. Smokey was probably thinking he couldn't actually take a fight, crossbow versus skirm, so decided to try to raid instead. And I mean, he could do some damage here. Daniel's, I mean, he's going to be idled underneath that TC. He can't move out. But that's just a few vills compared to a castle right on Smokey's face.
Yeah, it's more of the positional advantage now that Daniel has in this game. Ballistics is finally on the way for Smokey. He's had the university for quite some time, but has simply not been able to afford that important upgrade. That said, what's going to be awkward for Daniel is that, yes, his positional advantage in this game is great, but he's going to be slower to Imperial Age, and Persians are going to be a lot more awkward in early Imp anyway. Really, really weird early Imp Civ.
Yeah, no two-handed swordsman for them.
I know, what are you going to do, man? Like, how can you challenge Japanese if you don't have good swordsmen?
I know. Okay, so ballistics finally in for Smokey, and we'll have Palisade on fire. He still can't get to the middle of Daniel's base. Daniel's gonna have to go for a few towers at home to defend. Crossbows have now crossed the shallows, and Daniel will just move his economy more forward now to avoid the crossbows.
Yeah, I mean, I like the splitting up of the crossbows here. You know your opponent doesn't really have many knights to pick off low numbers of enemy units. If Yellow has a market, which he does, I mean, honestly, he should really be thinking about Imperial Age, because Imp and a castle would be an excellent step towards winning this game, because right now, Daniel's made this game very chaotic, which is exactly what Daniel likes. And good job of him splitting up his skirmishers now, and Smokey needs to make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, Smokey, he feels like he's struggling now, because as you said, sell food, click up is something he probably could have done over a minute ago. And then he would have a clear path to Treb War and take out the castle. Because looking at Daniel, it's the same thing. Yeah, the Persians advanced to the Imperial Age more quickly, but they're spending more food in the Castle Age on all their vills.
Yeah, and the overall Vil kills between the two players is quite comparable. And there we go. Imperial Age is on the way for Smokey. You have to be very careful. You have way too much warning to lose units. But honestly, Daniel's micro isn't that good either. Oh no, T-West.
He's gonna lose everything. Those crossbows cross the entire map.
Oh no.
Just to die.
No,
Smokey.
Smokey. No.
Well, Imp's what matters, though. Imp's what matters.
Imp is what matters. He still has the defensive Mangonel. You have some more stables coming in for Daniel. The issue is Persians like having a huge economy at this point, and I mean 97 vills isn't bad, but it certainly isn't ideal. We have more crossbowmen coming on here for Smokey. And he needs that castle pronto though, because he wants it as soon as Imp is in.
Yeah, he does. And let's see, Mangonel doesn't clear the other Mangonel. That makes it harder to do a castle. I think Smokey probably needs to delete a couple farms and do the castle between the TCs.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. He has the eco balance isn't great. He has a lot of food income when he doesn't need it. And the cardinal sin of every high-level AoE2 player seems to be not dropping the castle as soon as they have the 650 stone. And there we go. Castle is now coming in, but so is the army for Daniel, and Smokey doesn't really have a whole heck of a lot here.
But...
Oh my goodness.
Daniel didn't see the castle. He didn't see the castle. It's about halfway up now. He won't do his own castle that close. Here come the skirms and the Mangonels. Oh, he wants another castle on the side behind the TC.
Yeah, he's still going to look to pin his opponent in his base. Gold situation for Smokey is going to be very difficult. Neither player has any relics. Oh, and I mean, Yellow's trying to sneak out to the south, but that is going to be denied by the castle. The Trebs need to be popping, and those castles need to be dropping if Smokey's going to have any chance of clearing this up.
Yep, and one castle Treb production, and look at all those resources he's floating. Imagine if Smokey had just gone for his own skirms. Well, like he could have like a couple dozen skirms right now and have a decent fight.
Yeah, I think he really just underestimated how much food he would be getting, but he dropped a lot of farms, and that's just going to be one of those things you kind of need to feel out as you get better at AoE2, and I mean, I'm certainly not perfect at it either, so it's a really tough thing, and that's actually one of the things that make Hera and Leary so good, is that their eco balance is usually on point.
Yeah, they feel that out perfectly almost every time.
Yeah. Town center will be going down, but the first trebuchet is out, Bracer is in, and more archers are on the way. And Daniel making cav archers for some reason because, you know, we couldn't actually just play cav as Persians. Everything has to be skirms and cav archers.
Yeah, you need Persian CA. He needs to do some Parthian tactics for them.
Oh my, yes. Well, Smokey not with the best army control here. Mangonel doesn't even get that one final shot off. And right now, the multitasking really does seem to be an issue for him as he's losing units left and right here.
Yeah, the Knights are chasing some villagers. And, well, at the very least, Smokey is clearing a castle. And he might even be able to clear both castles.
Would leave Daniel with 0, but Daniel now actually... Well, I clicked Light Cav for a second. I'm not too sure what he wants to do in Imperial Age, because again, he's focused entirely on these ranged units and not cavalry.
Yeah.
His knights have basically no upgrades, I think. Yeah, just +1/+1.
Yeah, part of me is wondering if maybe Daniel could have gone +2 armor and a knight swap rather than going imp, because then he could have had options to pick off the trebuchets and keep his castles forward.
I'm not sure if he would have had the time for that, but that is also a matter of the fact that Daniel's been able to kill so many crossbowmen that more than he probably expected, and a bunch of knights with +2 defense against crossbows that only have Bracer as their Imperial Age upgrades, not the worst thing ever. But right now, Smokey is starting to claw his way back in this very nice game number 1.
Yeah, he's getting the trebs out, he's taking down the castles. The cav archers aren't doing too much damage, he's trying to wallop across his starting island. But Daniel now, he still has the water control, and one thing he's been doing this whole game is adding in more docks and fishing. So he's had a much better fish eco and is even adding fish traps now.
That certainly helps. The resources collected are just very slightly in favor of Daniel at this point, so it's still quite competitive, although in general, Japanese should be pretty happy that if they're able to keep even on eco with the Persians, because their late game should be a fair bit better. And right now, the archers are starting to get more value here for Yellow T-West.
Yep, and here is Smokey ready to push out. Trebs deploying on the TC. And looks like Daniel's pulling his vills back. Daniel, you know what Daniel's doing? He's evacuating. He's evacuating his forward.
Again! It's just evacuations left, right, and center. Now we have some infantry upgrades coming in as the light cav are going to start to emerge on the field. The eco upgrades are also better here for Daniel, and that's going to help him a lot going forward. Having handcart and heavy plow is very beneficial. And the big advantage here going forward for Daniel is the mobility. Not Persian watchtowers. It's mobility.
And this is where the lack of bracer means the skirms stop being as effective for the Persians.
Yeah, more spearman upgrades coming in. Importantly for Smokey, he's been able to reclaim some gold control. He's got some to the south and to the west of his base, and that's going to give him the resources he needs to switch into his halberdiers. Going to be really efficient army, arbs and halbs. It's a classic Japanese army composition and will likely be very effective here.
Yep, and oh, Smokey even bringing the cows to help the crossbows out.
I speak cow. That's what they were saying.
Oh, okay. If I think if you give that to an AI, it'll translate for you these days.
Oh yeah, that is pretty helpful. Oh boy, chemistry's in, and Daniel's losing a fair few vills at this point. Honestly, the reaction time's been a little bit slow from both players here in this game number 1, but first game of the day vibes and all that. Daniel still has a very healthy villager count in total, but right now it feels like Smokey is stabilizing. The score doesn't look too pretty for him. He needs more walls, but he's getting there.
Yeah, the thing that Daniel probably won't be able to do is stabilize, and by that I mean add in stables and get to Savars, like would be the power unit for the Persians for dealing with Arbalests. You're just not going to have the eco for that in a 1v1 in this situation, so he's stuck on the trash units, but in the trash fight, you're then against Japanese halbs and the fully upgraded Japanese skirms.
That doesn't feel amazing either. We have a few hand cannoneers on the way, but Daniel's gold income isn't that great despite his map control. He's got a cannon galleon coming out, which is always nifty, and he's doing a good job of pressuring here on the island, which, to be fair, there aren't that many resources on anyway, so it's not like it's the end of the world here for Daniel. But something that's really striking me is that even if Daniel can't get to a good army composition, it feels like he could sort of do that Hera approach where you just use trash units, a few gold ranged units, and then just raid your opponent to death.
And still the Trebs standing for Smokey. Yeah, and this is where I feel that Daniel, going Imp cost him the opportunity to be able to pick off the Trebs back when Smokey didn't have much army. And now that Smokey was able to get Imp through the castles, buy himself some time, he's into late game Japanese halb spam phase, which against the Persians feels pretty darn good.
Yeah, more archery ranges are coming in. It's going to open the opportunity to go back into probably skirmishers. Although, again, you're in a trash war situation where, on the one hand, you're Japanese and you have the better trash than Persians, at least I would argue. But on the other hand, Daniel's eco is only going to be getting better, I feel. Having handcart and heavy plow and just more efficient villagers is a huge deal.
Yeah, you're right about that. Smokey does need to add in more of his eco upgrades. And whenever he raids Daniel, the Persians can get their eco back. They don't suffer as much from raids because they replenish the vills so quickly.
Ooh, look at this, T-West. It's swordsman time.
Swordsman time.
Oh,
No.
well, okay, now he's making samurai, so he was thinking of long swordsman. Now he's going to be swapping over to samurai. Samurai are just going to be better than champions in this situation if you can get to them. It's just a matter of production.
Yeah, but either way, Daniel does have the option for hand cannoneers. That's what he's going for now. I think he's seen the halbs and wanted hand cannoneers anyway. Here's another fort castle for Smokey, still securing the gold on the mainland. And now finally, from behind over the shallows, Daniel is trebbing one of Smokey's castles and may be able to push the farms here where Smokey had first evacuated.
This is the issue right now for Smokey, is he just isn't taking good enough trades.
Oh.
He's not developing an army. He's got 161 vills, but that eco is simply too inefficient. And this is exactly like that Heroes-style late game.
No. He had 170 pop space and 160 of it was vills when he lost the castle. He needs houses. They're rotating around the map, but Daniel's rotating faster.
He's simply keeping the trebuchets alive, keeping them active. He's got 2 bombard cannons, and right now things are really unraveling here for Smokey. And again, I just feel like it's that macro, that vill efficiency that Smokey simply can't keep up with due to all of the pressure.
And Bombard Cannon now for Daniel will help him out against the Trebs. Do the Persians get Siege Engineers? They don't.
They don't. Never have, never will.
Don't say never will, Ornu. Don't give him ideas.
Persians actually have a fully upgraded siege workshop except for siege onager otherwise, so they definitely don't need siege engineers. Especially when they have elephants. I got to win a game yesterday going full elite war elephant TUS. It was pretty fun.
That's nice. Sometimes they're the right answer.
Yeah, I went war elephant hand cannoneer into trash bows.
That sounds pretty expensive and then pretty cheap.
Well, it was arena, and I had a big eco, so made it work.
Now everything is crumbling for Smokey, and just as it passes 5k score, he calls the GG. And Daniel will take a 1-0 lead. It is the best of 7, so Smokey's got lots of time left. That was a pretty darn competitive first game. But even when it felt like Smokey had spots where he was maybe coming back or maybe ahead, Daniel still managed to retake the lead whatever happened.
Yeah, that mid-game felt really solid for Smokey. He was developing quite nicely with his archers. He clicked up to Imperial Age. It's just the issue then became the eco efficiency, and that really plummeted. He wasn't able to deal with Daniel pressuring in a bunch of different locations all at once, and then was never really able to develop enough of an army composition, and he just kind of sort of crumbled to Daniel's population.
Yeah, and it was that rough mid-game when that castle came forward that he had no way to stop.
Yeah.
That, I think, really did him in. And when he moved his army away at the time, he didn't deal with the skirms and didn't have a transition to deal with the skirms early enough.
Yeah. Well, that is game number 1 going here to Daniel, but this is a pretty varied map pool, so There will be some different options here available to Smokey, who has picked Arena, Voyagers, and Migration as his maps, while Daniel predictably picking the 2 Arabia-ish maps, Land Madness and Graveyards.
And randoming Socotra.
Yeah. Something tells me Daniel just wanted to play Arabia.
No Arabia in the map pool.
Nope.
I miss Arabia. Do you know what I think the best AoE 2 tournament of the past few years was? It was King of the Desert.
Yep. Well, Arabia's just,
It's good.
The class.
Orlu, I think you swap your mic somehow real quick there.
I actually was stretching and knocked the mic arm with my,
Okay.
All right, looks like we're going to Clown Town next. That's what we really want to see.
That's why we're here.
Oh, and here's going to be an interesting matchup, T West. Khmer versus the Musica.
Ooh, okay. So, Arena? What do the Muisca even do? Quechua Warriors Castle? Monks?
Musica have several options. They're kind of like Aztecs. You can go for a Monk Rush, you can go for Temple Guards, you can go for Gechas, you can go for kind of a combination of all of those. You probably don't want to play a high eco style versus Khmer. That said, you do have fully upgraded Siege Onagers as Muisca, so you have options.
Daniel is the best USA player by a large margin and probably not even a top 20 overall player. I mean, the USA doesn't really have all that many top players. We never have, never will.
Nope. Alas,
Best tournament
alas.
is Masters of Arena. Schadenfreude coach knows
yeah.
where true tournament vibes lie. If I ever get like 5,000 Twitch subs, we'll host Masters of Arena.
And I will be there for it, T West.
Everyone will be there for it. Orlu, everyone will be there.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll bring Eddie on to co-cast.
1800 HP walls.
Proper early, of course.
Masters of Fortress. I'd be down for Masters of Fortress. I love Fortress.
Fortress is fun. You just need to make it regicide and not make it huge.
I have no idea why the devs don't make it Regicide Fortress. If you can do Explored for Black Forest and you can do these 9 Vil starts, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to do Regicide Fortress.
Okay, here we are on Arena.
Arena.
So, Smokey, the yellow Muisca to the north, Daniel, the blue Khmer to the southeast. And, well, do you think we will see chicken funnels?
Oh, you mean hair funnels?
Yes.
Hair funnels. That was an odd loading lobby. Did they just... What was odd about it?
I have no idea.
Did it take a while? I mean, this version of Arena might take a while. Also, the hair numbers are inconsistent. It's 7 to 6, or no, 7 to 7? Okay, no, never mind. It is 7 to 7. I thought we had a bug there.
Yeah, we're all good, thankfully. But it's interesting. We've seen a lot more Khmer on Arena these days, but it's usually picked by the not Arena players.
It's also interesting because it feels like a full light cav play is maybe falling a bit out of favor compared to a lot of the like unique unit civs that we see.
Yeah, feels like it's the 1TC stuff, like the 1TC aggressive stuff, that is very good, or the very late game oriented stuff, like, Turks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or Bohemians. Khmer feel like a let's go light cav and boom, which is still the safest way to play Arena. Like, if you were just starting out on Arena, that would be like the build to teach somebody.
I teach someone how to Monk Rush.
I mean, that would be the fun thing to teach them, but if you're looking for, like, if you're playing random Civ, you can't really Monk Rush with every Civ.
I did learn apparently you can get to 1200 just by going FC Magyar Hussars every game.
Well, yeah. You can get a lot higher than that.
Hello, Smokey. Hello. Smokey's pretty chatty, I bet.
Yeah, it's pretty. These guys are both pretty chill. Man, Chompies are such a sad Dark Age unit. Eagles feel like a bonus. Camel Scouts feel like a bonus. Chompies feel like a nerf.
They do. I guess camels maybe fall off on Arena when they get converted by monks more easily. Well, other than that, like if you're on a hamster map, they feel like a bonus.
Well, it's still interesting with Gujaras on Arena. I don't know what you think of them, because the camel still counters light cav openings really effectively. It is more vulnerable to the monks, but if you add in your own scout cavalry with it, the scout cavalry that also get extra bonus damage. So
yep.
I feel like it still works out very well for you.
Yeah, I feel like Gujaras are maybe an okay 1v1 arena civ, but a great team game civ when you have the elephant openings.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. You can apply pressure. They have a decent late game. I feel like they're an underrated civ in general because they're so janky.
Yeah, they're the we had felt the slippery slope of like Castilier and Sicilians and some of the other earlier expansions, and then Gujaras were the first full-on like load up a civ with tons of gimmicks type of civ that we got.
Oh yeah, for sure. Bengalis felt like they like weren't very good at launch, but then they just became one of the best all-around civs after several buffs.
Yeah.
Dravidians were like always memed on, but were actually fine. And then Hindustanis went from overpowered to terrible depending on their villager discount.
Yeah, that Hindustani villager discount has roller coastered up and down a few times over the years.
I feel like they've landed in a pretty good spot now, though, even if it's an ugly number.
All right, this is lovely. So Daniel is not going to funnel. He's going to do a farm to drop off the food from the chickens as the Khmer. And this is brilliant.
Yeah, that's great. And on the other side, look at that settlement placement there for Smokey. Gonna be able to just take the hares that way.
Would it be better to do that one tile back so you could actually mine the gold better?
Yeah, I feel like that would be slightly better.
Maybe. But it's also askew a bit, so you can get to each side.
It depends on how many vills you're trying to saturate it with.
Yeah. If you're only doing, like, if you're booming and you're leaving 2 vills there, that's great.
Smokey's not going to boom, though. I don't know anyone who would ever boom with Whiska on Arena. It's like, who booms with Aztecs on Arena? Just the 2 vills going to gold right now. I don't love this. You don't need to gather gold as the Whiska. Like, at all.
Ooh, that's correct. Advancing to the next stage costs minus 50% gold. You think Smokey is aware of that? Do you think Smokey just wants to go monks? This is the civ. Is this the monk civ, or is that the Mapuche?
No, this is the monk civ.
This is monks. There we go. Yeah, we gain faith plus 50% faster. Yeah, I mean, this could be a monk rush civ. And honestly, against scout civs, I actually still kind of like monk rushes. You just need to make sure you get a barracks and some spears with them.
Or in the case of the Muisca, go temple guards.
Or in the case of the Muisca, is this the one where they train from the settlements, or is that the Mapuche? No, the Mapuche train from the settlements. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Mapuche have an interesting monk rush against scouts if you're adding in those spears from the settlements, because you can skip the barracks.
Yeah, that would work, but monks are pretty bad for the Mapuche, so...
Yeah, and you can also just go Temple Guard and kind of skip a barracks, just do them from the monastery, but they feel super expensive if you get a monk rush. I don't know if that works out well.
Oh, I've done it before. Especially because they just got buffed and their food cost was decreased a little bit.
Oh, that's true.
It does help.
Yeah, so the champion can do outposts. That's nice.
That's fine. Meanwhile, Daniel is ostensibly just... He's just doing Khmer things. Likely had a stable on his way up to Castle Age, you know. It's a Khmer thing.
You know, since we have the Brazilian dynasty coming up, I wonder on Coast Arena if Hera might pick one of these South American civs with the champions to maybe counter monk rushes by building these outposts, because they really help Hera see.
Let's see. Ha 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 ha. Oh, 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 oh. No. Hera wouldn't pick these sorts of civs. They're not Hera civs.
Nope, the game is paused.
Yep.
The game is paused.
Yes.
We have an oops, sorry, go. Oop, accidental pause. I've done that before because the default hotkey is to check the tech tree or F2 and to pause or F3. I've done accidental pauses when I try to check the tech tree.
Really?
Yep.
I have pause at F10.
F10 is to open the menu, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, sorry. I have pause as pause. Like, literally pause on the keyboard.
Yeah, there's another, hotkey, though. Pause does it, but also F3 does it.
I did not know that. Well, it will be for some Spearmen here for Smokey. So this just looks like a pretty traditional Monk Rush build, which we could do just fine. Faster regenerating faith on the monks. You have the longer lasting gold sources, I guess. Bill's coming forward. The Spearmen are there to protect.
Gotta be careful
see how
of the
this
wolves. Yeah, this version of Arena has a lot of wolves on it. A few foxes too, but mostly the wolves can really hamper your aggression if you run into them.
Yeah, the Chompy's also low HP, and because of the slow movement speed, you're not really able to do a whole heck of a lot. Spearmen are here, but I think Daniel has a pretty good idea of what's happening. Monastery immediately going to come in, as well as Bowsaw. This is going to be tricky, though, because your food income is actually pretty limited right now. So let's see exactly how Daniel wants to allocate his very narrow resources, because no market.
All right, so double monastery with the barracks behind it. Only bad thing is the barracks is at home instead of forward, so it's going to be hard to get the spears into the right position. But 3 spears out already should be great against scouts. Yeah, it's true, and you add in 1 or 2 temple guards. Does slow the monk production a bit, but, I mean, Smokey could even, if he wants to go all in, sell the stone, and then really just go 3rd monastery temple guards.
Yep. It's going to be monks to start things off, which makes plenty of sense. You just have to be careful there with your scout cavalry.
Ooh.
I don't know about that. Like, he wanted to snipe the Chompy before the monk came out and healed it, which, like, I guess I understand, but you took some damage yourself.
Yeah, you know, I like that in his way, because Daniel has a monastery too, and he can just heal up the scouts.
Yep, first monk is out, and you are going to need something anti-scout cavalry, at least sooner rather than later. Because the spearmen, I mean, they are anti-scout cavalry, but they can't force an engagement. And now the monks are going to start to push them back, and the villagers you do not want converted.
No, you do not. 95% for the workshop. And it's at this point, it's hard to stop a conversion. There's one. And deleted. Deleted instantly.
Yep. And that monk needs to run away.
There's a spear, it's fine. Ranked BF has a lot of wolves. Yep.
Oh, wait, the
Ooh.
scouts opened the door, but okay, it's not the end
Now
of the
that
world.
was the
Relics are starting to come
weak
in.
scout that went down there. Good attention from Smokey to pick the weak scout.
And here we go, Temple Guards, Rams. Let's do it, guys. Temple Guards absolutely crush Scout Cavalry, but you need to get them out, and just like Spearmen, even more so than Spearmen, actually, they can't force fights.
Oh, a gate. Nice quick walls. I'll keep a monk alive at least. Oh!
Please tell me Daniel's not going Khmer Cav Archers to you, West.
Oh, we have a conversion on a scout. Ornu is scout converted now. He's doing ranges. Ornu, he's gonna go Khmer Cav Archers.
No, he's not. You
Yes,
wouldn't
he
do
is,
that,
Ornu.
little old me. Oh, you have to garrison in there in the Ram. You do not want to let the
scouts in.
Temple Guard get converted. Oh my goodness! It's one monk. No dice on that second conversion, but
Yeah, good to get the monk. That was crazy. Now that the Ram's out, Spears and Temple Guards hop in and out of the Rams. And what do the Chimera not have? Atonement, so they cannot convert the monks of the Muisca.
This is getting really tricky here for Daniel to deal with. The Temple Guard need to jump back in the ram. Oh, Insta! That is an Insta if I've ever seen one.
The walls are breached. Danny doing a good job with the scouts to pick off another monk. The ram goes down to that Temple Guard.
Ever since the Temple Guard was converted, the monks have simply not been in sufficient numbers. He
Yeah.
actually needs a third monastery, is the issue.
He does. And also he has 90 stone left because he did the outpost, so he's not able to sell 2 rounds of stone.
Yeah, I actually don't even like building the outposts. It's like, what do they even give you at the moment relative to a faster attack, which is kind of what you need the most?
Yeah. And this is where we're seeing maybe the weakness of the Temple Guard compared to the Spear, is that it's somewhat stronger against the ram if it gets converted.
Yeah. It's a tricky situation for sure. The Cav Archers are now out. They do have fletching. Temple Guards are having to run for their lives. You only have 2 relics. And again, I feel like the issue is you need that third monastery, as we now have the Siege Workshop coming forward here for Daniel, who's already 13 vills ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard to fit in that third monastery when you have to do the early barracks.
But that's just where it feels really tough these days, right? Because you need to have the... Oh, denies the Siege Workshop. Oh. And the Temple Guard will kill the Scout Cavalry. Oh, that was a very good fight for Smokey TUS.
Oh, Smokey, don't mangonel your own Temple Guard.
Oh, those units are expensive. Oh,
Smokey, no, not like that. And Daniel could have literally just re-stonewalled that wall and then forced Smokey to break in again. That's always something you can do against the Monk Rush.
It's something you always should do against the Monk Rush. I'll take it a step further. As, yeah, you need to be in close attention to that. Now, we do have the macro pretty good here for Daniel. He's on 2 TCs. He's making sure that as this game goes on, it's going to be better and better for him. But Sanctity's in now for Smokey. The Cav Archers without Bodkin or Ballistics, of course, going to have a much more difficult time actually challenging those monks if the monks are going to keep climbing in number, which of course they are.
Were these all just converted Cav Archers, right? Smokey's not making... He can't make Cav Archers. He has 4 Cav Archers now. From the Chimera.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is classic Money Crush stuff, TUS.
Oh my
Really
gosh.
want to see
So
that third monastery, though.
that's why you don't go Cav Archers. You give the Muisca Cav Archers.
Well, Mangonel's out. We do have Redemption behind one of the monks here, but it's going to slow down the push here, quite possibly.
Honestly, Redemption is kind of nice if you can force a conversion on that workshop, too.
I mean, it puts sort of that timer back on Daniel here. That said, the Watchtower is very nice in terms of getting you a good spot to prevent exactly that from happening. A market's on the way. I do really wish that Daniel would go ahead, or sorry, that Smokey would go ahead and pick up the rest of the relics. And there's the third monastery, TUS. That's what we want to see.
Okay, will it go up, though? That Vil is right next to a bunch of Cav Archers.
Yeah, the positioning, not the best right there for the poor villager.
More so the army just not there to protect the villager because it went around the side. Now, Watchtowers... Daniel's doing a university and he wants to get Guard Tower, which the Chimera do have.
And, oh, TUS! That was... who is that good for?
That Mangonel push?
Don't you dare, Smokey.
Don't Mangonel your monk again. And kill by the tower. Despite the healing. So I think that shot was great for Daniel. He cleared 2 Mangonels and almost got a third. And now he's got his TCs to defend. He has the university up. And he's basically stopped the push right now. Smokey's gone into reboom mode. But he's already down by a huge Vil discrepancy and res collected difference.
Oh, man. And it feels like losing the villagers was the real issue here for Smokey. Just not able to really keep the siege repaired. Now there's a Mangonel out, and yeah, guard towers in. You're not pushing this anymore, Smokey. The Cav Archers are still running amok all over the map. And it feels like adding the TCs is almost like conceding defeat.
It does feel like that. I mean, you're not just going to say GG, but there are a couple of little execution mistakes throughout this, where Light Cav picked off monks, slowed things down, and slowed it down just enough that now Daniel's got his boom going.
Yeah, Daniel can easily add in another TC as he wants. Now, he's still pretty far away from the castle, but again, your ability to actually do damage at this point is extremely limited. Muisca have no eco bonus to speak of right now. Khmer have one of the best eco bonuses.
Yep.
And 12 build deficit, better eco upgrades for Daniel as well.
And so part of me thinks in this rush that the temple guards kind of were a waste for Smokey, and that he would have gotten perhaps even more value had he just gone monks with a couple of extra spears.
Yeah, it is tricky. I think that he went with the ram, but he didn't really do the merry-go-round of the temple guards and the ram. Like, you cannot let a single temple guard get converted.
No.
If you do
And
that.
And he did.
Yeah.
Hey, here come the wolves. Here come the wolves. Oh,
There go the wolves. Devotion's on the way. We will have 5 relics, but they're literally being brought forward, which I really don't like. I mean, if you're going to try and boom it out, you build the monastery back home and just bring the relics to safety.
No, you just gotta get them as soon as you can, otherwise you're dead. I mean, I think Smokey could maybe sell and try to go imp here. I mean, if there's a way he can get Vils forward, he still has an option of imp forward, castle, and tribs.
He does. Light Cav numbers are climbing. Cav Archer numbers are climbing because, again, Khmer are a step civ, just like Huns and Mongols. Remember, half cost on the gold price for Imperial Age. 1,000 food, 400 gold.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's actually super cheap for monk rushing, because then you get up and you get the illumination, block printing, theocracy. Now I'm thinking actually really the play for Smokey would have just been go imp rather than add TCs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like going imp there, or adding the TCs, it feels like you're never going to catch up in eco, whereas you might win with an imp timing.
Yeah, and there's a conversion on a Mangonel, so that workshop for Daniel will go down. Daniel will start adding in more stables. And now I guess we're at the point where you can just go imp and then temple guards if you're Smokey. Seeing the stables.
Yeah, I mean, it's temple guard plus onager is what you want. And then eventually siege onager.
And there's imp, 12 on stone, so he'll have a forward castle if he can get Vils forward, which with all of Daniel's Cav Archers hoovering around is not a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, and, you know, credit here to Smokey. I thought that his eco would be falling too far behind. I mean, it's not good. It is not a good eco for Smokey relative to his opponent. That said, it's much less bad than I thought. Oh. Daniel is tired of playing Arena, man.
Daniel wants to play Arabia.
Yeah.
Okay, Smokey needs to micro all of those monks now.
Yeah. Devotion's huge. I mean, it's not bad monk micro, but there's only so much you can actually do here.
I mean, he got quite a few conversions there. He got a good Mangonel shot.
That is huge. That is the tide turner right there.
The tides are turning and it's not even a water map.
I know.
But Daniel has production now. He has production. He's staying in the castle age. And if he is producing, yeah, look at how far back that castle is. That is not a forward, I'm going to treb your base castle. This is a safe castle where the second castle then has to be forward.
It's actually a really good castle, T-West. If Daniel builds this forward, one and imp comes and you just treb the castle from the range of your own castle.
That is true. And the fact Daniel hasn't scouted it yet is actually crazy.
Yeah.
It's 75%, and the light cap goes for the outpost, not for the castle. Daniel's one tile away from scouting it. He sees it, but it's up. And
yeah,
actually, it's pretty good because he has gold access, too. Gold and wood, so he'll have res for trebs, and then a follow-up castle after it.
The issue right now is that you can't go for I mean, you need to go for the Trebs. He's trying to go for Gechas, which, like, I get. Because they're good at... I mean, they're not, like, great against Cav Archers. They're okay against Cav Archers and light Cav. But how do you prevent the Trebs from getting sniped? He's going to try and Stonewall, but I'm not entirely sure that's going to be enough.
I'm not entirely sure that's a good castle from Daniel. Smokey's going to do the second castle now. That'll be double castle Treb production for him.
He's on around 80 villagers. And 5 relics. Certainly not to be underestimated.
Yeah. I mean, Daniel could also do 2 petards. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing right now. The petards to try to break into Smokey's base.
Oop. That's a really cute idea right there. Everything here for Smokey is forward, and that could easily be a game-winning move from Daniel. Love to see that. Villagers are within the safety of the castle, and to be fair, you are losing units, which is not ideal, and the Mangonel there does go down. That's not what you're looking for. 2 Rams here as well, but the 1 Mangonel alive does help a lot with that.
Yeah, having 1 Mangonel behind the castle is absolutely crucial for Smokey because it negates all the Rams.
1 Mangonel can destroy an alarmingly huge amount of Rams.
It really can. Oh, but here comes the Relic Monastery. That's 5 relics. Can he set the gather point on the other monastery and hop them over? I don't think so.
Oh, you know, that doesn't work. I've tried it before, TOS. I really have. But honestly, the Petard play might just be the closer here, as Daniel's going to start flooding units into Smokey's base, and he literally has nothing to defend them.
Yep, and here come the quick walls. Will that be in time? They won't have much HP on them. I think there's a hole by the house in the barracks.
Nah.
Yeah, no second layer of walls for Smokey, so Daniel can start hoovering in. Doesn't have much space to raid, although, with all the TCs, but that's a lot of farms that'll be denied anyway. And a few vills to go down.
The biggest concern is going to be the production. I actually think this is too many trebuchets. 3 is enough, I think. You need to actually continue the Geisha production. At least Smokey's doing that right now.
Yeah, I don't mind 4. 4 is a lot stronger than 3.
4 is stronger than 3, but, you know, 10 Geishas is better than 7 Geishas.
Yeah, but I mean, 3 Trebs you can repair against for a while. 4, much less.
Daniel's not repairing against 3 Trebs, but still, regardless. Racer's in, Chemistry's about to be in, Leather Archer's armor is about to be in. Smokey is losing Vills, but it obviously could be a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, if he takes out this castle, he can reclaim the relics. He's doing another monastery. And if you do get 5 relics, that is... I know it's worth only, like, 6 Vills of gold, but it feels more than 6 Vills when you're in a game.
Well, it's kind of like the Khmer Farms, right? Where the gold is trickling constantly. So...
yeah.
It really does have one of those benefits that it's a lot... It's hard to explain if you're not playing it yourself. Like, it's one of the things you really need to feel out.
I remember Cab's old writings said it was about 20 Vills.
That's not 20 Vills.
That's a lot of light
you
Cab
have to
now
be really
Daniel.
careful with those Trebs too, West. And I would love to see some more Temple Guards added in.
Yeah, I think he needs more. This is why you do the 4th Treb. You can lose 3 of them and still have 1 left over.
Ah, yes. Makes a terrible situation very slightly less terrible.
Well, you might lose all 4 here as the ram push gets in as or the light Cav.
And 1 Mangonel kills Infinity Rams. Don't check my math on that one.
I think that's true. Oh, but look at that! 1 Treb survives.
Yes.
What did I tell you, Orlando?
The situation is officially slightly less terrible.
What did I tell you? 1 Treb left over. Perfectly calculated. And now the army in the back of Smokey's base is cleaned. Daniel's coming forward. And remember something here, Orlando. Daniel is still in the castle age. And why is he sending the petard on the stone wall instead of a house? I don't know. Why is Smokey not walled with a stone gate between the blacksmith and that house? I don't know either. It's a lot to micro for him.
The Geishas are fully upgraded minus Elite, and I guess technically Thumbring. Not really that big of a deal, though. But Elite is a very important upgrade for those Geishas, and that feels like it's still pretty far away. I'm pretty sure it's one of those wooden gold cost Elite upgrades. I need to double check that.
One of those, like, the old Elite Plume. Oh, that was a nice raid,
No,
though.
that's food and wood.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Food and Wood, you're
750
right.
wood, 600 gold. It's like one of those elite war wagon or elite camel archer upgrades
Yeah,
that are wooden
those
gold.
ones. Okay, well, I mean, it's only a 600 score difference. It feels like Daniel should be more ahead than that, but the problem is, still, he is in the Castle Age, not the Imperial Age.
Yeah, the relics are slowly being reclaimed for our yellow player. I really, really, really would love to see some Temple Guards mixed in. It's not that... You don't need that many Temple Guards for it to be very effective. And just make it a lot more awkward to pounce on the Geishas.
Yeah, I'd really love to see Smokey repair his walls. Just don't let Cav run in and out. Make sure that that castle is safe from rams if you get a mangonel there.
Imp is coming in, but what did we see in the first game? Things were looking good for Smokey, but eventually Daniel's macro and his unit spam and making his opponent's economy inefficient were simply too much.
Yeah, but I mean, Daniel, he's still going to need to get Imp and do a lot of upgrades. He needs the Blacksmith upgrades and Hussar for all those light Cav. But that just runs into Temple Guards, as you were saying. And at this point... Oh yeah, there are the rams in now.
Yeah. Nothing
I
really
mean,
to
at
kill
this
those
point, it's
here.
100 Vils, though, for Smokey. He's not making expensive units. He's doing Elite Guetra Warrior.
Geishas are very expensive, T-West. What are you talking about? 50 wood, 60 gold is so ridiculous.
Is that expensive? It's just wood and gold.
I mean,
Not
it's
like a war
just
wagon.
wood and gold, but it's a lot of wood and gold.
Okay, now here come the light Cav and Cav archers through the opened holes in Smokey's wall. He didn't re-wall. Oh man, this would be so much better for him if he just re-walled and had one mangonel. Hey, then the Infinity Rams wouldn't matter.
Yeah. That's it. Elite Geisha is one of the better elite upgrades in AoE 2. It absolutely has to be. Plus 5 HP, plus 2 attack, plus 2 pierce armor, plus 1 range, and some more bonus damage.
So it's not one of those composite bowman upgrades.
No, it definitely is not.
They look pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. If there's one thing that almost always delivers, it's the AoE art team.
I mean, these we have Smokey with a big score lead as he's raiding now, and he's getting into
Yeah.
Daniel's eco.
Imp is about to be in, but, I mean, TOS Daniel has 50 units in the queue right now.
They're skirms, though.
Yeah, they're the best unit in AoE!
Okay, fair enough. Now, Smokey's eco is also being ravaged and pillaged by a few Cav archers from Daniel, those Khmer Cav archers. I think
Looking
Smokey
at
still
7
just needs
ranges
to repair.
right now.
He needs to refill those walls.
Yeah, Daniel's eco is still around 20% more efficient. Both players have lost a ton of villagers. Those numbers are fairly even. The food income for Smokey is a disaster because those farms have been heavily annoyed, I guess.
Nope.
And right
He's
now,
15
Daniel's
on
start
food.
to push this all back.
Yeah, and Daniel now with a 20 pop lead, but it's down to 105 to 114 Vils. Yeah, Daniel has 18,000 more res collected, but Smokey has basically twice the KD, twice the kills, and then a much better map position, I think, with the forward castles and the relics.
Yeah, but this is a really important part of the map, the east here, for Daniel to control, and Smokey is none the wiser. That castle would be so huge, going to secure basically a gold and a half and some stone.
Yep, and those extra golds Daniel's securing will help keep him in the game against the relics. Because now it is like Daniel who's on the timer, though, because he is against a player who has 5 relics.
Normally, I would agree. But again, it's that late game trash unit macro with a more efficient eco that feels like I'm not sure if Smokey would stop that, especially since his Civ has like the worst pikeman in AoE 2.
That's true, they rely on the Temple Guards rather than the Spear line. So, Khmer Hussars could actually be quite deadly.
Half-Ram is coming in as Daniel is constantly looking to counterattack. This is not an arena player, man.
Look at those light cav melting to the Guetras.
I mean, 8 base attack is wild.
These things, they count as archers, right? So skirms are decent against them, but their pierce attack is countered, so it's only the bonus attack.
Exactly. So...
Oh, wait.
is-
Orlando, what do I see there? Plate mail armor. What is Smokey doing?
Isn't he adding Temple Guards? Yeah, he's adding Temple Guards.
Temple Guards. So, I mean,
Scorpions
Temple
are gonna
Guards,
come out.
they counter everything, right? They counter everything from Daniel, the Skirms, and the Light Cav.
Oh yeah. Temple Guards are really awesome units, except against mass infantry, but Chimera are not going to be going mass infantry, or against a ton of Scorpions, which is what Daniel's going for, and that's where you need to switch into your own Onagers. It's all very gold intensive, but remember, Muisca, 5 relics, and their gold lasts 15% longer.
If that's their team bonus. So they could, I mean, they could honestly go Siege Onager with Siege Engineers against the Scorpions if it gets to that point. Because Smokey's now up to 117 vills, and he has a good eco now. Not at 200 pop yet. But once again, he had rewalled, but now he's pushed. Rewalled, but didn't have the Mangonel behind, and the Caparams are in.
Yeah, you really need to have that Mangonel at home. Right now, Smokey's kind of sort of figuring out the army he needs to make. The issue is that Daniel's being so much more decisive because, I mean, he has way more games on Chimera, and Chimera are much more straightforward simpler than Muisca, so that checks out.
Yep.
You need to see Elite Temple Guard as well. That needs to come in. You need it at the barracks because remember, there isn't enough room in the UI for Elite Temple Guard at the monastery.
As much as we could get to the slippery slope of, yeah, let's just extend the UI, and then you keep extending it. One more column in the hotkeys would be really nice.
Yeah, be helpful.
But here come those Temple Guards. Not elite, but Temple Guards nevertheless. And they're pushing back the Cav and the Skirm raids. Smokey can rewall yet again should he want to.
Yeah, but here's the thing, T-West, is the Skirms are efficient against the Gechas because Gechas are a weird unit balance-wise. And right now, Smokey's population is dropping like a stone. Elite Temple Guard is on the way. I don't know,
like a
T-West.
stone.
I still feel like he's going to be swamped by Daniel's macro.
Yeah, and a heavy Scorpion with Siege Engineers for Daniel, so he's gotten the Temple Guard counter. And it's still, I didn't even see Onager, so just Mangonels for Smokey as the scores are dancing back and forth for a moment, but I think Daniel's pushing now.
Yeah, Elite Temple Guard's going to be in. They do have 6 Pierce Armor, which is very nice. It means that they only take 1 damage a hit from the Skirmishers. Skirmishers are awful against these guys. But as we keep saying, the Scorpions are huge. The castle was huge because it secures the gold necessary to make the Scorpions that win you the game. So all of that matters. And now Light Cav are sniping trebuchets. This is all so good for Daniel.
Oh, not the Tribs.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce Guecha? I'm not even sure.
I think it's Gecha.
Gecha?
But
So the U kind of isn't really emphasized.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't think I've checked.
What link is it like? Is there a modern language that would have a familiar pronunciation to it, or is it kind of a more outdated language?
Well, it's in the language of the Muisca. Guecha.
Guecha?
Okay. All right. Learning.
That's pronounceable, Guecha.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Onager. There's Onager in the forward
Yeah.
damaged workshop. But that's pretty much the only hope against the Scorpions now. That's a lot of siege from Daniel. Smokey still has a score lead.
He does, but it feels like Daniel's composition and everything about what Daniel's doing is so much easier to play. Oh, he's going Chumpies.
Oh, more importantly though, Daniel is deploying the Trebs to besiege the monastery with the relics in it. Oh no, he's going for the castle. I think you have to go for the monastery first.
I don't think it matters all that much, honestly. All the important buildings are going to get sniped. Smokey has no army. He has no means of making an army. The Gechas can't really raid as well as they need to. The positioning isn't there. There's nothing to stop all this unit spam. And like I said, Daniel, just like in game number 1, there comes to a point when the macro is simply not there.
Yeah, and I feel like Daniel made the right choice in counterattacking Smokey. And Smokey had more than enough time to be walled up against that first counterattack, and had more than enough time to get Mangonels behind his walls for the subsequent counterattacks. And that put his eco far behind, to the point where he's actually up in vills now, but doesn't have the res collected to sustain against Daniel's army composition. Despite having twice the number of kills, he's down by over 20,000 resources collected throughout the game.
Yeah, and he never got herbalism either, so he doesn't have the extra movement speed for his Chompies, but like I said, Chompies are going to be kind of underwhelming here, I think, regardless. I think the Scorpions are going to be way too good.
Just like the Civ.
Oh, Chimera being too good?
No, the way being too good.
Oh, yes. The Way are too good. Chimera are also too good, but not by as much as the Way are too good.
Okay, well, here come the Chimera Scorpions, and right now, Smokey lost the relics. Daniel can pick up 5 relics. That potential time where he might have been on, he's cleared, and he can bring the relics back to his own base whenever he wants. As this army, I don't think there's much it can do against those Scorpions. Look at him go.
No. Double crossbow isn't in quite yet. You're trying to take a good fight here as Smokey, so kudos to you for that.
It's a decent fight. It's actually a decent fight. He cleaned a lot of Scorpions.
He did, and Chompy extra melee armor is very helpful versus Hussars. 6 melee armor is not bad. It still feels like you're only making gold units, right? So you're going to run out eventually, and Daniel, all he needs to do is just spam trash units. Just keep the macro going, keep the eco-efficiency going, and he will absolutely be en route to winning this game.
Yeah, and there's no more gold for Smokey in his base other than using the market. He's trying to move out with a castle, but that would only give him a stone. And without those relics, I think his army count is going to quickly start to vanish into nothing.
Yeah. You make slingers against infantry. You don't make them against anything else.
Or
anyway,
you make them against monks.
It is just... yeah, I mean, against monks is acceptable. Anyway, a good attempt there for Smokey, but it really just feels like the macro difference really is too big of an issue once it gets past like the 40-minute mark or so.
Yeah, and it's really hard to tell on Arena what the right decisions are to make because there's so much you don't have scouted of your opponent's base. But it feels like there were just a few small things that went wrong for Smokey back and forth. Not being aware of Daniel's counterattacks or not having the right composition when pushing in spears versus temple guards early on. That he didn't have maybe the experience going Muisca against Chimera to get right.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Muisca in general are a very tough civ to play because you need to rely on gold units. Whereas Chimera, you just have an amazing eco and can spam trash units. And Scorpions are, again, very easy to use. But the potential is there. I think that going Elite Guecha probably wasn't the best idea. I think you just have to rush to Temple Guard plus Siege Onager.
Yeah.
And just
it's
play that much.
It's tricky because Chimera, I think, are a lot more straightforward to play. Is you just go and scouts into light cav as much as you can. It's not like Daniel was perfect either. He had a lot of cav archers converted early on, but I think Smokey that's more of a thinking matchup on the side of the Muisca it's less standard than Chimera and harder to figure out.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not one of the situations where like, come on, Smokey, the answer is obvious. It's a puzzle that you still need to put together, and I think that most players in Smokey's position would still struggle to find the correct unit composition at the specific time.
I got a bunch of Discord messages. Oh my gosh, looks like the spam bots just went wild on Discord. And I just got tagged by needing to... That's the problem with being a mod in a bunch of different Discords. You gotta go clear out all the messages.
I have one from your Discord.
I think the mods got it.
This server requires members with moderation powers to have multi-factor authentication, and it always is blocking half the stuff.
Yeah, I got some. The worst is when they spam in the voice channels. Those are just hard notifications to clear.
Yeah.
Oh man, but it's like a bot that hits all the Age of Empires servers at once because you get all the notifications. I got a notification from your server too.
Oh really? I didn't get one.
Yeah. The worst, though, is you get not just notifications from the from the bots, but notifications from people tagging the mod roles to ask you to clean the bots. And those notifications, they don't go away when the bots get cleared. Yeah. anyway, we have finished game number 2. We've had 2 very competitive games so far, but I think that's kind of been the theme, is that we've had competitive games against Daniel, but they haven't been competitive games where the other player has ultimately managed to figure it out. It's been competitive games that they end up losing.
Which, I mean, given that Daniel is the pretty heavy favorite in this event, is probably all we could ask for, but we are going to be going to Voyageurs next. We are in-game.
Let's load in. It'll be Saracens against Dravidians.
I have never played this map, T West. Have you played it?
I have not. I've just watched it. You didn't pick it in your drafts?
No. It seems very aggressive. It's like one of those maps that people see the walls and think it's a wall defensive map, but like you have no resources. So.
And thank you, Sango AoE, for the raid. We're casting the finals of USA Cup along with Ornlu. Oh, I failed to download match content, Ornlu.
Oh, that'll learn them.
I don't see the match on the list of matches there. Let me try again.
Well, I am in game. You do have a fortified outpost on this map, which improves the movement speed of your nearby units by 10%, I think, if I remember from my Alexander the Great campaign.
I hope you remember that, because I never played the campaign.
It's all right.
All right.
It's very, like, cinematic and a lot of scripted events and big battles.
Oh, boy. Did you ever play the Relics of Atheline?
No, I never really played any of those old custom campaigns, because when I was young, I had no idea how to download them.
Oh, yeah, you should definitely go play that one. That is the most cinematic, amazing thing I've ever seen in Age of Empires.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know it, and I've seen, like, clips and screenshots of it, but I never actually sat through it.
Yeah, so this map, you have a lot of random horses around the map that you can pick up. They're Gaia, you can capture them and scout with them. That was a mistake. They were intended just to be scenery, but then they found out you could capture them, so they left it.
Oh, that's weird. But yes, they need to be wild horses for you to not be able to pick them up. Otherwise, you pick them up. They're 2 different units. Actually, there are several different units, but the wild horses are the ones that are just aesthetic.
Yep, and the golds can spawn either north-south or east-west. They are north-south this game. So it's kind of... I think this is the more defensive position if you want to take stone. And Saracens Dravidians, I'm not sure how this matchup works. I just have nightmares of when elephant archers were first introduced. I had those Bengali elephant archers sitting underneath 3 castles, 2 TCs, and Mamluks, and they didn't die.
Yeah, I recently played an arena game against Monos. I was Saracens versus Bengalis, and I thought, oh, well, nothing is going to kill Mameluke Siege Onager. And he literally did nothing. Like, he just sat in his base. And I got all 5 relics, and I'm like, oh, this is good, man. And then he just converted my Siege Onagers, and then the elephant archers obliterated the Mamelukes.
Oh, you should have done Heresy. Saracens. Like the
I
full
didn't have the
tech
gold
tree.
for that. It turns out you can't get Heresy and Elite Mameluke upgrades and Siege Onager all at once.
I just gotta believe. You're Saracens. You have the market, too.
Yeah, but he had Bengal. He went like 23 plus 2 perfect build 5 TC boom with Bengalis.
Well, you could have 5 TC boomed with Saracens and grabbed relics.
Yeah.
You could have also just monk rushed.
Well, I thought I was getting monk rushed, but also it was Monos was on a Smurf account, so I had no idea it was him.
Ah, okay.
I've run into that a lot recently, to be honest, where it's like
Smurf
known
accounts.
players, but they're on different named accounts.
It's a weird one where I think the queue timing makes it take so long when you're at a higher elo that sometimes people just go for the faster games with a lower account.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Yeah, not the biggest fan of it, but what can you do?
Remember the old days in Voobly where it would list everyone's accounts if they were on an alt account?
And there is the technology for that because the spec dashboard does it.
Yeah, we do have the technology.
They want to chill on a Smurf, except I want to face somebody who's at my skill level and not get stomped by somebody who is very significantly better than me.
That's part of the.
They don't care. You see, that just seems like a very.
It's part of the downside of using ladder elo as tournament seeding elo, because it kind of disincentivizes people from playing on the main account if it damages elo too.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels a little disrespectful. Like, it's one thing, like, I literally ran into Rodrix the other day, you know, the Argentinian player. He was on his main account, and you know, like, that's like, what can you do? That's what DE gave us. And of course he stomped me.
But then you only lose 4 points instead of 12.
Yeah.
How does the tower in this work? So the tower has a really, really small range around it. So it kind of protects the foxes, but not really. Also, the tower has no minimum range, but only has 2 attack. So once you get Loom, villagers take only 1 damage. You could actually go and destroy the fortified tower with 2 or the fortified outpost with 2 vills. If you, the owner of it, have your own units next to it, it boosts their speed. But, I mean, it's such a small radius, it doesn't really matter at all.
My question... Oh, they're going for the other one because it's much closer. Okay.
Yes. It's closer to go for the other one.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Why do you get the far one and not the close one?
I guess it makes it a bit more interesting because you can go for the enemy one.
Yeah, it's a very strange map as far as I'm aware. Smokey, though, in the Feudal Age, looking like he will have a perfectly fine Castle Age time, and that is a stable Key West.
Dravidian
I guess
Light
he's just
Cav
gonna
time.
go Light Cav?
Time for Dravidian Light Cav.
But, like, why?
Collect relics? It's a fairly open and aggressive map. We did see Daniel versus T90 where Daniel actually drushed on the map and just went drush into feudal pressure, into castle age pressure, and continually attacked.
Yeah, I kind of thought that's how the map would play out. Daniel's fish booming, though, it's not especially efficient fish booming. And at least the Light Cav, because this water is traversable, as we can see right there, we'll be able to put in a lot of pressure onto the fishing ships, but the Hulk's going to be on the way.
Yeah, not too much pressure, though, because remember, they can garrison in the docks now, and it will shoot quite a few arrows in once he gets up to the castle age, which he's just clicked up to now.
Oh yeah, I also got smurfed by Beery recently. I was another player. Again, I had no idea I was against Beery.
Was it in a 2v2?
No, it was in a 1v1. It wasn't even Cabron or Don Cabron. It was another Smurf. Huang I also ran into. I thought it was a Smurf, but it wasn't because the name was Huanginator. So I thought it was just somebody who was like, you know, a fake Huang, but no, it was actually the real Huang.
The real Huang.
Yeah. Once you get to 2K plus Elo, you can start getting some really weird matchups.
Oh, once you get to 2K plus, you start, and if you play at the right time, you will run into Huang. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He will find you, or matchmaking will make him find you eventually.
Indeed. At least I only lose 1 Elo.
There's a town center for Smokey. And
make that 2.
Make that 2 additional town centers. So he's up first. He's looking to boom. And so I don't know. I'm thinking that Dravidians probably, if they get to Elephant Archer, have a difficult late game for the Saracens to deal with.
I mean, conventional wisdom is that Saracens kill everything with Mamelukes and monks and siege, but Elephant Archers are really good. They're like really good.
Yeah. Well, no heresy for the Dravidians, right? So that does help out the Saracen monks.
That's true. but you still have to be very careful. Elephant Archer's very fast attack speed, one of the fastest attacking units in the game for Dravidians. I think it's a 1.36 reload time, faster than an Elite Mangudai.
Ooh, that's fast.
Indeed.
Definitely fast.
Loom coming in for Daniel, Bowsaw as well, and he is going for a forward monastery and a forward blacksmith, so looks like he does want to apply some pressure here.
Yeah, so some monks for Daniel. We'll have another... Yeah, the forward blacksmith. You know what that means? Forward workshop.
No, it means that you're just going to get a forward scale mail armor. You're like, oh, look at my armor, it's so fancy. And then you taunt your opponent and they lose.
It means you went forward to do the workshop. You forgot you needed a blacksmith, and then you did the blacksmith.
That is much more accurate.
It's one
they
of
did
those...
a lot of stuff to make LE archers stronger in mid-game, and one of those things was to make them only slightly more expensive than knights. 60 food, 80 gold for an LE archer.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing how quickly you can amass elephant archers. They don't really hurt your eco all that much.
Not for the stats they give you. I mean, you just get so much HP on the dance floor.
Yes.
And pretty quickly, too.
Okay, it's a bit of a traffic jam
workshop for Daniel.
On Daniel's fish traps. As he's spinning around with a Hulk. Look at that Hulk go. That Hulk is on the dance floor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Got to get the dubstep party music out right there. But there's a forward siege workshop from Smokey, and these guys might just be pushing past each other, but Daniel much more invested with only one TC.
Yep, and that ram. But from what I've seen from Daniel, he likes being aggressive on this map, and the fort walls have an insane amount of HP. Remember, stone walls on Arena had 1,800 HP. Fort walls, 2,500. These are crazy strong walls.
They catch you off guard in the South American campaigns. Because it's like, oh, they're just a big palisade wall. They go down quickly. And then I have, like, a bunch of rams attacking them, and they're slowly going down. It's like, oh, geez.
Yeah. That's one of the worst things for campaigns, too, where you're attacking a wall, like, for 5 to 10 minutes, and it just doesn't go down because you have Castle Age rams.
Yeah. Looking at you, Joan of Arc.
Yeah. When you use Joan of Arc 3, that's probably the worst offender of all of them.
Yeah, it's a scenario that takes so long for no reason.
Yeah,
fortified walls with battering rams.
Yeah, you gotta do the speedrun trick where you build the siege workshop in the right spot and you can hop the rams over the wall.
Yep. Although I think that doesn't work anymore.
Oh, it might not. Oh, the mangonel attacking the fish traps.
Yep.
But there's a light cav.
Again.
No, we lost the fish. Oh, be garrisoned.
Get the extra shot off. The Mangonel's going to go down anyway. Spearman's there to help out as well. It's 18-3 army in favor of Daniel. And yet he hasn't actually killed anything yet. This is the first game where Smokies should be getting a big eco lead, but not yet due to the fishing of Daniel.
Well, it is a 20-vil lead. But yeah, in Res Collected, they're still similar. And here comes the ram push. Ram train going for the outside TC. Daniel not bothering with the fort wall, going for the exposed TC, and Smokey has no army to deal with this.
Ram has officially been downloaded. There are 2 light cav on the field. The light cav here of Daniel actually have bloodlines and +1 defense, so they are going to be tanky. No fletching in for the TC, and this is going to be completely catching Smokey off guard. There are monks as well, and this is a disaster for Smokey.
And right now, Smokey didn't even have Loom. He's researching Loom at the TC that's going to go down, and he's not going to get Loom. Oh no, the TC's down. All those vills are Loomless.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, the pain. He had an outside TC with no Loom.
Let's say it together, chat. Research in Loom makes your villagers harder to kill.
Oh man, Smokey didn't have the scouting. He knows Ram is expensive these days. Wasn't expecting Daniel to have this many Rams in his push. And didn't even have Loom prepared.
Oh dear. Mangonel is here defensively, and although Mangonels do kill an infinite number of Rams, the Rams have simply been given too much time there on the gate, although not finishing it off. It's going to keep Smokey alive in the short run at least, but that's not really the issue.
Yeah, Fort Gates have so much HP. It's insane.
3,250 HP, that is quite a lot. That's getting close to like Krepost HP. Ooh, and I did win a game yesterday with a Krepost rush on Arena. I had 5 Kreposts in my opponent's base. But alas, no Kreposts here for Smokey.
Mangonel. Oh, the Rams. The Rams are clumped up. Okay, Mangonel gets a hit.
Again, like, Smokey is not dead. He's ahead by 14 bills. He's grabbing hand carts, so he'll have that advantage as well. He's on 4 TCs. And to be fair, that's a lot of gold in the back. That's very safe.
Yeah, it is. But this map is so much gold. Those 2-tile golds out in the middle, all those 2-tile stones up and down the middle. That map control becomes super important, and Daniel has all of the control right now.
Yeah, there isn't that much stone to play with. That said, Dravidians aren't a civ you need a lot of stone for. You have both bombard cannons, and your best units tend to not come from the castle. So it's not inconceivable that Smokey finds a way back into this game, which is honestly a lot better than it looked a few minutes ago. So I wouldn't count Smokey out just yet.
Well, that's true. Your best unit is the Skirm, and that does not come from the castle.
Very true. 2 relics in for Daniel at the moment. He is adding a 3rd TC, so his own eco is not going to be too bad. That's going to be a oh, okay, deleted at the last second.
And Smokey, desperate for farming space, deleting his back walls to get more space. He's going to do a house outside of his gate.
Oh,
monks do not have sanctity.
No sanctity. Yeah. Well, now it's in.
And Smokey might need to delete one of those farms, but he'll pull back.
And now a couple more Rams coming in. They are near villagers to repair them as needed. And we still have all the map control here for Daniel. The Vil count is looking nice, but to what end? Smokey is going to ostensibly be going for pikemen, I guess. Yep. But does he have time, T-West?
I mean, are pikemen good?
I was thinking he might go swordsman.
I mean, I guess they'll help against the light cav, but that's such a huge eco investment. If you're light cav and you see your opponent going full pikeman, you can just kind of pull back and just content yourself knowing that you damaged the eco to the point that they had to start adding pikemen.
He hasn't actually made the pikeman yet, though, to be... Okay, well, never mind. I was thinking maybe he tries to click up to Imperial Age, but, I mean, he needs to not die right now, and that is going to be priority number 1.
Why ram the stone wall and not the palisade? The stone wall is actually weaker than the fort wall.
Everyone knows that stone is much less reliable a building material than wood is.
Yeah, Ornla will just huff and puff and blow those stone walls down.
Exactly.
not those sturdy fort walls made of twigs.
Oh man, the pikemen have no upgrades. The cavalry units are flooding in, and Smokey is in a world of pain. Mangonel trying to get some shots off. Phil's even going to try and punch down the enemy unit. Some conversions on the enemy pikemen as well, and Daniel is going to continue this pressure here in game number 3.
It feels kind of like that first game too, where Smokey has a Vil lead, but doesn't turn it to army in time, and Daniel had a much smoother addition. Now he's on 4 TCs behind this push. So he has a smoother pushing while adding eco behind it game plan.
And his just overall efficiency is significantly higher. Daniel knowing when to push, when to boom, and that is a very tricky thing to figure out as a player. Oh my god, he still doesn't have Loom. He's just getting it right now.
Well, you know, he remembers that he clicked Loom, but he probably didn't realize the TC went down before he researched Loom.
Oh boy. 5 pikemen on the field. It's not a very impressive number. 11 light cav. You have the monks, scorpions, rams, mangonels, everything here to defend appropriately. And right now, this push is just not getting stopped anytime soon here for Daniel as he's kind of camping between the TCs.
Nope, there is a monastery for Daniel.
And Scorpion's adding damage, Mangonel's adding in damage.
And yeah, look at that KD, 64 to 38.
Yeah. I mean, the pikemen are trying to do what they can, but you really just don't have enough in terms of production. It's like Daniel's pushing and pushing and pushing, and eventually he broke through there.
Yeah, and despite this being Smokey's home map, it does feel that Daniel was a bit more prepared for it. And I don't think that Daniel's aggression should be surprising to Smokey, considering this is exactly, well, not exactly because he didn't Drush, but basically the same strategy Daniel used against T90 on this map.
Yeah, I was surprised that you said that the games were usually super long on this map, because it feels like you can just push your opponent into the corner of the map and they have nowhere to go.
They have nowhere to go, but there's so much gold in the corner, they take a while to die.
That's true, but there also isn't any stone in the back, so it's tough to actually get the necessary defenses. That monk doesn't have any faith, so it's super awkward. And at the very least, Smokey is starting to push this back.
He's up by 20 Vils. Down huge by about 2,500 to 3,000 resources collected, but up by 20 Vils.
And the monk can't stop and go for the conversion because the elephant will just kill it. So that's pretty awkward, but more monks are coming in. Here's the forward castle. Again, Smokey has zero access to stone. I mean, it's still totally fine for Daniel.
There's a bear attacking one of those castle Vils. It'll weaken it.
Honestly, I wonder, would swordsmen have just been better here? They're more vulnerable to conversions than pikemen, but they're a much better unit, generally speaking.
I mean, they should be equal. There's no, like,
well, I mean, like,
resistance.
they are worth more to convert than pikemen are.
Well, there's a castle. An imp. And Mamluks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's trying to rush up university so he can have the extra building. That's always a very awkward situation. I do like that Smokey has expanded to the side, but an outpost is in a nice spot for Daniel, so he's able to build a forward stable. And again, it's like, where are you going in this game as Smokey?
Okay, Knights getting on the Vils. Pikemen will poke down the Knights.
Range is built at the very edge of the map right there. Oh boy. And Daniel has 4 relics on top of this.
Well, look at now that mixture of stone and palisade wall together, fused into one.
That looks really weird.
It's like when you're playing Zoo Tycoon and you run out of money for the expensive fences, so you just start making the cheap ones and hope the animals don't break them.
Yep. And then you realize that you put the lion exhibit next to the penguin exhibit. And you only have the cheap walls to keep the lions out.
Oh, Mamluk raids are rough to deal with. Some pikemen now on the eastern side as Daniel's added more stables, and he's looking just to spam some cav onto those farms. And he's an outpost there, so he sees everywhere that Smokey's farming.
Why would you go crossbow? I mean, I guess you don't want to go elephant archers because of the bonus damage that you take, but does he know Mamluks don't get extra bonus damage against elephants? They just get their anti-cav bonus damage?
I feel like this is a change we've seen over the past year that kind of everyone's doing it now, that you just have outposts everywhere. You have one Vil make outposts.
I mean, back in ye old days, the game was too laggy and people weren't good enough to do that, but it feels like now that, you know, ping is so good, players are so fast.
Also the shift queue. Like shift queuing outposts instead of just placing the foundation and needing to move the Vil every time.
Oh, there actually is a hole there. Knight's been able to navigate through the maze of the forest to go all the way to the south.
It is very hard to be fully walled in this forest. It is tricky. There's a hill, there are trees. You gotta be on point with your walling.
It's a porous forest.
On a holy hill.
Mamluks are here, though. It just feels like we're waiting out the inevitable that's been here since the early Castle Age pressure. Smokey's just never able to get out here on the map.
Yeah. I mean, he is imp at least, and he still does have more Vils. I mean, it's only 1k res collected difference. But
the issue is he isn't able to turn it into army.
no,
Like,
and
in
he doesn't have gold.
Even game, you're going archer plus pikeman. You are at 200 population right now, and Daniel's at 145. But now he's in a situation where he can't actually apply any pressure, and Daniel's just going to get to 200 population of elite Mamelukes and then kill everything.
Yeah, but he's also on that timer where he needs to break out in time before his gold in the back runs out. So he is, what, around 4,500 gold in the back? And once that runs out, he basically is full trash. And even before, it's hard to saturate this with too many vills.
Yeah, got hand cannons coming in. I mean, Daniel can just go for whatever army he feels like at this point. We do have some bombard cannons on the way for Smokey, so, I mean, you do have that ability to start pushing back out. And, again, Dravidians are not a super stone-intensive civilization, so the fact that you have none isn't the end of the world. And actually, Smokey going to buy a castle in this economy.
Where's he going to put it?
I don't know, T-West. I truly don't know.
Or monk techs also for Daniel. Maybe just worried about bombard cannon and preemptively doing the monk techs so we can convert them.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you know your opponent has no trebuchets. They could go armored elephants to try and push back out. Honestly, that might not be a bad idea.
But against Mamluks, that feels like a horrible idea.
Well, I mean, at least they have enough anti-elephant and anti-cav armor to negate all the bonus damage.
Do they?
I think so.
Maybe elite Mamluks, then you might need. It's plus
Yeah.
9. That's a lot of anti-cav damage for the normal ones.
How much armor do the elephants have? I know it's pretty decent.
I mean, they are called
I know they
armored
counteract-
elephants. They should have good armor.
Like, I know they counteract Genoese crossbowmen completely, so Gen bows only deal 1 damage to them.
That's only 5, though. That's not as much as 9.
Yeah. That is true.
Here
Even
come the
my
cannon.
math skills are up to that.
Yeah, here come the cannon, but there are the monks right away to convert them. So nice use of the monk text from Daniel. That'll keep the castles up and keep the Mamluks raiding.
Yeah, still no thumb ring on the Arbs is a really big issue for their overall DPS. Daniel has 1,800 stone with 35 gathering the resource. He is not going to lose the castle anytime soon. As one bombard's converted right there.
He's prepared to repair. Also, I love how Daniel has spread out his buildings. He has the forward university in the corner, then also the forward blacksmith on the other side of the map.
Very important there. But no, in all seriousness, I like the ranges added on as well as the stables. So the hand cannons are here to mop up all of those halberdiers. Smokey's going to try and build his castle to the northeast, but I mean, he's now really struggling for population. And as much as population, he's just struggling for army value.
Yeah, it's been a situation where the entire game he's been up in vills, but down in res collected, down in map control, down in army numbers. And that's just war on him. And he's done what he could to hold on, but now that he's imp, the difference has really come to bite him in the face, as Daniel has a 50 villager lead now, and hand cannoneers against trash units.
This matchup reminds me a lot of like Anika versus Hera, where it feels like it's very competitive in the early game, and even, you know, Smokey able to get some advantages, or he has a very clear game plan. But there just comes a time when there just isn't enough stuff, and the lack of multitasking and efficiency is a big issue.
I mean, Smokey at least has eco upgrades.
That's true. Nico gets eco upgrades now. Now it's Tato who never gets the eco upgrades. Gotta get with your no eco upgrades meta.
So here comes another ram train, along with cannon this time for Daniel in the south. And Smokey will lose that TC and then probably all those vills, but more importantly, access to all remaining gold.
Yeah, there's just a casual, what is that, around 109 villagers killed difference between the two players.
110. That's a good difference. And it'll only grow. I mean, Smokey has 44 military. It feels like he is basically 0. When your Arbs and your Halbs are kind of split up in separate groups, you don't really feel the impact of your military numbers.
Yeah, I mean, It's an army composition whose benefit is that it's cheap and efficient, and you can get to 200 population quickly with it, but being behind in population just goes to show how dire a situation it is here for Smokey. That said, Daniel's at 150 bills. He is absolutely overboomed, but actually, I don't know why he stopped making Mamelukes.
I lost one of his castles.
I mean, he's going to be on 4 in just a second.
Maybe he saw the Yarbs.
Yeah, but Mamelukes aren't that afraid of Arbs.
I mean, it's like the
don't
only
even
unit
have
that kills them.
I mean, but you could have equal numbers of Mamelukes to Arbs.
Simply heads and shoulders above everyone in the U.S. His hair is very clean.
Does he wash his hair with head and shoulders?
I wonder if the rest of the... Does the rest of the world have head and shoulders? Will they
I don't
understand that joke, or is that an American joke? I feel like that's probably international. Maybe under different names.
Sure. Yeah.
You have it in the UK. Okay. You have it in Germany.
There we go.
You probably still call it Head and Shoulders in Germany, too.
Bombard's still going after the castle. Smokey's at 160 pop, which isn't awful, but now he's going to be running low on gold. Again, 0 access beyond what's in his little corner of the map. The Trebs are trebbing up. Siege Engineers is going to be in. Honestly, might as well pick up counterweights.
Well, I mean, Smokey, he is holding on. There is still the theory that Dravidians might have the better trash unit and might have the cheaper composition in Halbarb. And if Smokey can hold on for a long time, emphasis on long, maybe he can push out.
But he has no map control, and he has...
One relic,
yeah,
okay, he still has
he's not going
GG.
anywhere.
He's saying, no, this is over.
10% difference in eco-efficiency, T-West. That is enormous.
Yeah, and it feels like, yeah, he was holding on, but he never really had a chance actually to win. He was behind the entire time, and nothing he did phased Daniel in the slightest.
Yeah, double the gold collected, 0 stone collected that game for Smokey in a 51 minute game. And these victories are looking pretty similar for Daniel.
Yeah, not just did he have 75% of the map, but he had that the whole game.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, we already are in an ad break, right? I forgot to hit
Losing,
snooze.
and we could be done after this one, T-West. It looks like we're probably going to go to migration.
Migration? You don't think that Smokey will pull a reverse sweep?
Well, I would be thrilled if he did.
Thrilled.
Anyway, I need to take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Alright, take your break, Gordon. We will wait for you as we await migration to commence our final game. Potentially. Final game if Daniel wins. Smokey is going to help to drag it out a bit more, I think. But definitely not a surprise to see Daniel doing well. We're not going to Kawasan next. It wouldn't be a real tournament without Kawasan now, would it? Kawasan's been used so much. I feel like that might be, out of all the different play all 3, it's best of 7. Oh, maybe Ornley just has the wrong overlay. It's best of 7. Because they have played 3, but it is best of 7. Yeah, Kawasan, the hybrid plus small pond map, I think might be my least favorite style of map. Of the Cross was a fun map when it first came out, but since then there have been so many very similar maps created that I think we just see them over and over and over again. And he doesn't recognize the US champion? Yeah, I think the most recent USA Cup before this was won by Spring. Spring against Daniel in the finals. Would have been back on Voobly. But yeah, Spring is, I think, the reigning USA Cup champion, potentially for one until this game ends. So we'll see if Smokey can make something happen, though. Make something happen on Migration. Maybe he's got a chance. Maybe still some fight left. Is this the last set? This is the finals. This is the finals. Krepos Lover. Oh, and here we go. Ornlu's not back, but the game is commencing. And it will be game number 4 on Migration. We'll have Daniel to the north as the Blue Vikings and Smokey to the south as the Yellow Armenians. Fortified churches versus longboats. Both civs have extra HP on their infantry. Vikings get plus 20% starting in Feudal Age, but that won't be as much as the strict, plus 30 HP that Feriduz grants. So more HP for the Armenian infantry, but then Vikings do get berserks.
Hello.
You sure there was one more USA Cup since then? Was there?
I don't know.
Was there a USA Cup on DE before this one?
I don't even remember what I had for breakfast, T West.
Okay, I'm thinking the previous USA Cup was oh, and thank you, Wazam AoE for the raid. I remember there was one on Voobly on the Will of the Kingdoms where Spring beat Daniel in the finals.
That one. Yeah.
Daniel beat Bloodless in 2022. Really? Okay. Didn't even pay attention to that one. Oh, the Crux.
Noob
So this
stream?
is-
I don't know. You're watching Americans.
Yeah, this is Smokey's final home map. Attempting to take a game off of Daniel now. Migration.
I feel like I know the answer already, but which civ do you prefer here for the full-on new water meta?
I genuinely have no idea. I think warrior priests are great for picking up relics in the middle. I don't know if longboats matter in time. There are some pools of water in the middle. That's something I would have fixed these days.
Well, I don't think it really matters all that much.
How are the Americans enjoying the World Cup? There's a ton of traffic on our roadways for some soccer games.
Really? I haven't noticed any.
There's no World Cup in Chicago, though.
No, there isn't a World Cup game nearer than a 10-hour drive.
I would have a 30-minute drive where there's no traffic.
Yeah. I've been enjoying it, though. I've been watching a lot of it.
I've not watched a single bit.
That's all right. It's very slow.
I never really felt like soccer was that enjoyable to watch. I feel like
I don't enjoy it either.
I feel like it's like when you have basketball, every possession has a high probability of someone scoring and something important happening. And soccer is kind of the same thing, but there's a very low probability of that. Kind of like hockey too. Like you're waiting on lots of low probability events to stack up instead of a stack of high probability events.
Yeah, I mean, what I enjoy about the World Cup is like the whole international aspect of it, and like all the different countries
Yeah.
coming together, and you know, it's like the Olympics in terms of my viewing of it. But in terms of like an enjoyable sport, I'd much rather watch football and basketball.
Oh, and 4Com5,
Oh,
thank you very much for the sub to Ornlu for 98 months of a streak. 2 more months, and we'll have 100.
That is a very long time. One of the OGs to my channel for sure.
Oh, with the right emoji to celebrate 100 too. You were prepared.
Oh yeah, just need to wait a couple more months for that. What if I got a job and was able to stop being a full-time streamer exactly when 4Com hit 100 months?
Oh, then he'd be 99 months forever.
Oh. Well, we can't have that. Here's like make the good games better. That's true of any sport, I feel.
Like Age.
Yeah.
You're saying we have a lot of bad games of Age of Empires.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. There was that USA Cup where the watch was the prize. I remember that because the guy who sponsored that was part of the old clan where everyone in the clan named themselves after a Confederate general or politician.
Yep.
Those are like the CSA clan.
Yep.
Oh, that was not the right way to sponsor USA Cup. That's why I completely didn't remember that version because it was so ridiculous. I just like ignored it. That's right. There was a super expensive watch as the prize. Which,
and
yeah,
all these new people who just got into the scene post DE, they don't know how weird things were back then.
Oh man, yeah, that's one of Dave's old videos. He looks at the clan website.
Goodness.
Oh man.
Differential livery. Like the players always seem nice. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But hey, we still have Six Flags Great America, and one of the Six Flags is the Confederate flag.
No, didn't
like
they
15
change
minutes
that?
from my house.
Isn't it 6 American flags now?
No, it's Six Flags Great America, at least the one near me.
Oh, they didn't change the flags. I think that Six Flags rebranded just to uses 6 American flags now.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we have Great Adventure near me.
Yeah, they definitely don't fly the Confederate flag, but it's still like what it's based off of.
Yeah, that's what the name Six Flags. I guess Six Flags Over Texas was the first one, and that's where the Six Flags brands come from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so what is it? It's the U.S. flag, the Confederate flag, France, Spain, Mexico, and Texas. All 6 of them.
There you go. All the parties who owned a bit of Texas.
Yep.
Anyway, guys, there's nothing remotely interesting happening at the moment. They're just making fishing ships. They're clicking up at the same time.
Yeah, they're
We
booming.
used to see some degree of aggression occasionally, if like going for a forward dock or two, or like a quick galley rush to punish a fish boom, but that's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah, I think water maps are a lot less interesting with the changes, with how defensive they are, because it's so hard to punish a fish boom. You don't do anything but fish boom.
And it still feels very snowbally, right?
I think it feels
like
even more snowbally.
Yeah, because there's so many more fishing ships, right, for the person who wins water.
Yeah, that, and also I think it's harder to, like, if you're losing water in the past, you could do the thing where you sneak a couple galleys into your opponent's eco, make them run the fishing ships, maybe snipe a few of them off. Now you can't really destroy fishing ships unless you commit to it, because they just hide in the docks. So once you lose, you can't counterattack. You're down in fish, and it just kind of snowballs even harder.
And then the demos don't do anything, so you're
stuck right
there as well.
Yeah, so you lose one of the comeback mechanics in demos, too.
So we are just chilling over here. That's a stable here from Smokey. I do find that a little bit odd because Armenians have just like the best early Castle Age low investment unit ever in the Warrior Priest.
Well, he has a lot of fish. Maybe he just feels like, I want to play a standard game of Arena on this migration map. It's the Arena of the Sea. And he'll go Monks and Light Cav and Warrior Priest to fight for relics.
That certainly could be the case. They are both grabbing fishing lines, which is very important. Fire Galley helps Daniel kill Smokey Scout, which is very nice, though. And yeah, we're still just chilling, guys. Only a few seconds differentiate these two players in Castle Age timing. Economies are dead even. Both Vikings and Armenians have very strong economies, so I don't think anyone's getting a big advantage there. And it's really just going to come down to map control.
And map control, where warrior priests do give the Armenians a huge advantage. But also, what do you think about late game if you get to Cilician Fleet now? Obviously, you're still not making demos, but you do have probably the best galley line in the game with the Armenians against Vikings who could go elite longboat, but I'm not sure how that holds up against Armenians late game.
I mean, in general, you still want to get mass galleon in the late game. I think that Armenians losing shipwright was a really big help to their balance, because Armenians, when they had shipwright, just had the best late game water by a huge margin. But now they're kind of like Vikings, right? Where you don't get that extra production speed, but Vikings get the discount, so that helps them there. And I don't know, it feels pretty competitive.
Also, no fast fire for Smokey, so that can hurt you against the elite longboats. Yeah, no fast fire for the Vikings either, but at least they don't have that. They used to not have any fires, and it still feels weird to me to see Daniel coming forward with those Viking fire ships. Or fire galleys.
It's funny because when I did State of the Civs like a couple of years ago, I said, I think Vikings just need to get fire ships because otherwise they're just literally non-viable on hybrid maps. And then they have the perfect opportunity to keep the thematics of Vikings not having fire ships when they added Hulks, but then they just gave them fire ships on top of it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been a situation where Vikings maybe just had the feudal age fire galleys and still didn't get fire ship, but I think that ship has sailed. Oh, wait, what?
What?
Oh, Daniel messed up his hotkeys. He tried to make longboats and he made 5 transport ships.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. The comeback is on, Orlu. The comeback is on.
Oh my God.
We would not have a USA Cup Finals if something like this didn't happen. Daniel just reminded us. It's the USA Cup Finals.
And us reminding us that he's Daniel.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so, all right. Smokey gets a point on the scoreboard. Winning via hotkeys. I saw this happen to Jordan once. He was Dravidians. He tried to make Therissidae, and he made an armada of transport ships.
Yep, I remember that game.
Well, Daniel defeated by his hotkeys.
Honestly, Daniel could have still won that game. Like,
Yes.
come on, man.
Still Vikings. You need to open his hotkey menu, make some longboats. Well, that was one of the migration games of all time.
It sure was. We talked about everything other than the game, and then the game took place. Not even really. I think, 2-3 units died?
It was a 3-3 KD. Very even game until the hotkey mistake. So Daniel, unfortunately, loses with the Vikings. Let me get the civs from the last game. That was Saracens Dravidians. And, well, now we'll get to play on his home maps. He'll get to pick Land Madness, Graveyards, or the random Socotra.
Is Socotra just... I think it was just the last leftover map. Because, yeah, no South Dakota Badlands, no Mesa Verde, no Cross, no Inundation. So, I mean, I think it says random, but, like, it's literally the only map left.
Yeah, because I think the final map is random, but this is the full map pool, right?
Yeah, so there isn't.
There are 11 maps. We need like a longboat, or you know what? We need a transport ship emote just for like whenever someone messes up their hotkey like that.
That would be good. I just got
hold on, let me go to my dock.
a new emote.
Oh, what's that emote?
Ornlua Burgungan. It's a Flemish militia with Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, I need to fix my dock hotkeys because for some reason Go Back to Work is on B, which isn't what my Go Back to Work hotkey should be.
Oh, yeah, that's a weird one.
I don't see where to adjust it in the hotkeys though. It's not on the dock page. And it's not on the town center page where Go Back to Work and All Back to Work are.
Microwaves are rad. Thank you so much for the sub with Twitch Prime. Welcome to the Wolfpack and enjoy the beauty, glory, and majesty of Ornlua Wolf and friends. Where do you use that whenever the Burgungans are being played? Pikey.
The Burgundians.
Yeah.
You got to play the hero unit for the Gajurs is Gajar Jar Binks.
I don't know. None of my emotes make any sense. They're just kind of there.
Alright, so now we will have graveyards.
Speaking of
Vietnamese versus
Burgundians,
Chinese.
kind of surprised by the lack of Burgundians here.
Where would you use... you might use Burgundians for Socotra for Flemish Militia.
Oh, yeah. I still kind of like Romans and Mayans more there, though.
Yeah, Vietnamese is still a good civ.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad at all. Also, hello,
And you
Panda Tank.
probably want Romans for Land Madness, maybe. But yeah, Burgundians would have made sense here, and then maybe Maya on Socotra.
Yeah, I would have gone Burgundians here, Mayans on Socotra, and Romans or Khmer on Land Madness.
Alright, so we'll have Smokey to the southwest as the yellow Chinese, Daniel to the southeast as the blue
Freaking racist
Vietnamese.
TOS, come on!
Well, that's the civ and the color he's playing as.
It's just like the exact way you said it.
Oh my gosh.
Just like jumping right into it.
Oh, I didn't even... I'm just saying the civ and the color.
Guys, I think we need to
At least
get
it's
US.
not... At least it's not Daniel.
Yeah, that would have been even worse. Although we don't know Smokey's ethnicity, to be fair.
He's an American.
Honestly, not the best start, though, for the Chinese player. 31 seconds idle time.
Yeah, that is not a good opening. You usually want to be around 24 because you don't need the houses now, and you can go to your sheep right away.
I think maybe people try to lure the boar a
laming.
little too fast.
Oh, do they try to lame too fast? As we have
Ooh,
Daniel
yeah,
doing some laming now. But that's a tough lame for him, as Smokey's right there with his scout.
Yeah, that one is not likely to be successful. Daniel's having to go away from his TC, which is never a good sign as far as a lame goes. Gotta be careful because the boar will eventually do that. And a nice denial there from Smokey. I don't think it's possible these days to actually lame a boar if the scout is there.
I don't know. I go back and forth on that. Sometimes I think if you're good enough at getting the timing right, it's possible to lame regardless.
Yeah, to be fair, we don't see it anywhere near as much as we used to. Like, we used to see it constantly. That's something of a rarity.
Yeah, I think part of it is also the boars are so close to the town center. And also, they're straight lines from the town center now. You don't have those old situations where they'd be behind a wood line, where you actually need to put effort into scouting them, and then over a hill where they're kind of tricky to lure, so you might not lure them right away. Now you see them, you take them early, and it's all easy.
Yep. That is just one of the ways that AoE has just become so different, is that you're not... I don't know, it's just... Your early game is so smooth now, and it can be so efficient. Interesting build on the chickens, though. Is this something that we do? I mean, like, I mill the chickens on Arena, but on Arabia, or, you know, this is Arabia enough. An open map. Semi-open map, whatever you want to call it. I still go for the berries first.
I mean, on this map, you're kind of so far away. I don't know. Oh, we have a counter lane from Smokey. I don't know if I like that. That
you know
feels
the
wrong.
scout right there.
And Daniel has scouting information here, so he'll see it.
Yeah. I think he had the scout HP advantage before that. Oh, and Tom the Calm!
No,
Or
not
Tom
more
T. Calm.
Crusaders. Emperor
Thank you for the sub to T.
Barbarossa,
West.
I do not want that filthy army
Prime.
in my city. Turn back at once.
Welcome
you
to
very
the
much
T West
for using
Legion
your
of
Prime.
Doomed followers.
A legion of doomed followers.
Yeah.
Do I keep the legion in a folder?
Yep, something like that. I don't know. I give your subscribers a new name every time.
You do. Well, thank you very much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. We had a good week and a half of not being able to stream due to my ISP not fixing my internet. So we we kind of fell off in terms of the sub numbers. So I appreciate the Prime sub.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if there was a week and a half to be off of AOB 2, there really wasn't a whole lot happening.
Yeah, still, I didn't want to be off before then going to Brazil for a week and being off again. And Smokey loses the scout.
Well, I'm sure you'll just restream, right? The
Probably. I don't know though. I haven't heard any details. I haven't even heard the details about the hotel yet. So
Yeah, I'm a little worried for you guys, just because it's such a big an event and it's like completely new country, new organization. So yeah, just hope everything is safe and works out, and you guys,
I hope so.
Aren't on the street.
The Masters of Deception.
Mods, Masters of Deception, MOD.
Oh, the mods.
Yeah. Stay close to ACCM. That's true. ACCM is just straight up thug life right there.
Yeah, he has such good fashion sense. No one would ever mess with him.
Yeah, that's true.
So 30
Well,
seconds faster will be Daniel, but more vills for Smokey is the Chinese.
But honestly, it's not that much of an advantage. I mean, look at that. He's ahead by less than 100 resources, and he starts with minus 250 total resources. Well, I guess 100 in terms of saved resources. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think
Doesn't
we
feel
can
like
see
a huge advantage.
we can see the difference of that 34 seconds of idle time versus maybe 24 seconds. That like right from the start of the Dark Age adds up, having like a fraction, like half of a less villager.
Yeah, not the biggest fan of that. That said, Smokey's doing fine. It's not like the insane Chinese start that you're usually looking for, especially at this high of a level. And yet, he's up to feudal age at a good time. He's getting his eco upgrades. He's getting walled up, getting his range down. It's not like he can really be that unhappy with how things go. I like the skipping loom, though, from Daniel. You're against Chinese. You're not going to be under any pressure.
何种命令？什么？
Yeah, and especially
Also,
since
do I
he
have
saw
good
the
fashion sense? Of course.
yeah, like the scouts from the early lames taking damage, he didn't need to worry about the HP on the vills.
Yeah, so it's not a big deal right there. A couple scouts going in. Good quick walls, actually, there from Smokey.
准备
Still open to the south, though. Just going to try and get himself walled up. Honestly, this feels more like old Arabia in terms of wood lines than Arabia does.
Yeah, it does. The wood lines are larger. I'll tell you this. Wood lines on AOC were around 120 trees each, pretty much. On DE, they're a lot smaller. There are rare generations where they're around 100. Most of the time, they're around 70.
Yeah, I really do miss that.
何种命令？
Like, the larger forests, the larger elevations. It
The
felt like
cliffs.
the maps, the cliffs, it just felt like the map generation mattered more. Like, I mean, I remember when I really started casting a lot, and it was like, almost entirely Arabia. It felt like there was a lot to talk about with the map generation and how that would affect how things play out. Now it feels like it never matters.
Yeah, there's a lot less randomness to it, which I think. I mean, the randomness is do you get chickens or not?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, not walling in time is Smokey. Just the scout gets in, and you can't quick wall that Vill, so say goodbye to the Vill. And she
Bye,
goes down to the
Vill.
scouts.
Yeah, now a minute 14 idle time. Now the resources collected are looking pretty solid, but now you've got like the worst feeling ever as we have, oh no, another villager going to possibly go down to the scout, but no, going to be still pressuring, and oh boy. Another dead Vill. Spearman gets a poke in, but you
that's
can't be
rough.
unhappy about this as Daniel.
That's rough to lose Vills like that. I mean, you're the Chinese, you want to have more Vills, but now you're down in Vills to the Vietnamese, who have the cheaper eco upgrades, and your eco bonus now is passed if you're Smokey. You get the cheaper techs, but the Vietnamese are so much smoother to play from here on out.
And I think this might just be a case of Smokey being too ambitious in his walling. Daniel's literally playing this like a game of Arabia. We know Daniel himself is a pretty aggressive player. And this could actually snowball out of control really fast.
什么？
And now the skirms are there to deal with the archers and spears, and the scouts can just kind of run around, avoid the spears, look to make the eco messy, as the skirms deal with everything else.
Scouts do kind of take a wrong turn right there and take some extra damage that they don't want to. Wheelbarrow coming in, I absolutely love when people, when playing as Vietnamese, get that nice and early.
Yep.
No reason not to. Honestly, that should probably not include Wheelbarrow for the Vietnamese bonus, but
Yep.
as it stands,
Yeah.
very, very good.
It's a double bonus, no wood cost and research faster. It's one of those weird double bonuses.
什么？
And it used to just be the no wood cost, and then they just added the faster research speed on top of it for some reason.
Yeah.
何种命令？
They also just gave them fire lancers.
准备就绪。
Yep.
何种命令？
And a bonus for more HP.
Yeah. And a fantastic bonus as far as that goes.
何种命令？
But we don't really understand the DE balancing sometimes, and now is no exception.
准备就绪。
Oh no, T-West.
准备就绪。
Oh no, scouts. They want to pick the vills, and the spears can't defend if there are so many skirms. No more archer defense, only one archer survives.
何种命令？
Spears going down, and Daniel will clear everything from Smokey.
Yeah.
There goes the wood line. Back to the TC.
This looks a lot like my games. You know, you try and have an economic opening, and your opponent just applies a ton of pressure, and you're not walled, and now you're just kind of stuck as Smokey.
Yep.
12 kills to 3 deaths in favor of Daniel.
什么？
And there's armor for Daniel's scout. He's going to keep the pressure up. More archers going down to skirms. Smokey
Yes,
can't fight the
yes,
scouts
yes.
and skirms together.
Oh, that was also a hole there, probably an over forage.
It's always a hole. And the vills will go down.
Yeah. Well, at least Smokey got one win, even if it wasn't maybe the way you'd like to get a win, but yeah, obviously Daniel still showing that he is a very strong player, easily a top 40 player, if not top 30.
Just
And
needs
no
to
one
fix
else
his
in America
hotkeys.
really comes- Yeah, just needs to fix his hotkeys. Armenians get 90 HP halbs. I really think that there is some major logistical issue with World's Edge and Forgotten Empires that did not exist previously, where they have a really hard time patching their own game.
Yeah, it feels like... Well, I mean, there have been a lot of layoffs recently, right? I don't know, Capture
Yeah,
Age
maybe.
lost like a quarter of their staff last summer. Ernest, I guess, I don't know what he is, but he's like a main producer, is retiring, and probably in time with layoffs to come in June. So it does feel like there is a significant problem in patching that, as you said,
Yeah.
did not exist.
什么？
Where I think, remember, they used to have roadmaps to at least hint at the fact they were working on stuff. We don't actually know whether or not people are being paid to work on stuff right now.
And I think that the issue is also that it feels like they kept on...
何种命令？
Forgotten Empires and World's Edge both kept on, adding age titles that they needed to take care of.
Yeah.
But it feels like the number of people doesn't increase, so it just feels like the same people are stretched out doing all the content, all the patches for all of the age titles.
何种命令？准备就绪。
Yeah, and now Daniel still, I mean, he hasn't even had to add more army behind this. He's just continually, with such a good KD, forcing Smokey to add more units to defend. And that's going to let Daniel click up to the Castle Age with much less investment. 33 to 19 KD and killing even more scouts. And bloodlines on his scouts too. Bloodlines and armor versus only armor for Smokey. And Smokey had to invest into a late scout transition with armor.
准备就绪。
That's expensive, and yeah, he has 22 farmers, but he still isn't walled. He's still trying to clear Daniel in the back. Daniel can wall freely. Everything is going his way.
And
Yeah, exactly, Bob. That's
usually-
when their fiscal year ends in June.
Yeah.
何种命令？
But one of the biggest tells in an extended feudal age game like this is food collected. And right now, that's almost 1,400 more for Daniel. And that is almost always going to be the best indicator of who is going to win the game, as that means that, yes, there's a lot of feudal age fighting, but one dude's going to get to castle age a lot faster, and that person is Daniel.
Yeah, and it's often an indication of whose farms were idled less. And here, Smokey's farms were idle a lot, and they're still idle as he garrisons his TC to try to shoot a scout and the Vills. Now, that's one of the things also when we look at Hera and Leary, is that they know how to garrison and run from feudal age armies at the right time. And even at Smokey's level, you see he's garrisoning against one scout. He's not really saving or protecting Vills. And he's causing a lot of unnecessary idle time. And those things add up when he's down by 1k res, when he's the Chinese.
I mean, an Age of Empires is such a snowball-y game in general that these early game, well, I guess inefficiencies in this case, really are huge difference makers. And it's basically every single inefficiency and bad fight from Smokey adding up over the past, 12 to 14 minutes of game time.
Yeah, now's the spot where you could fight with Vills. Those are low HP scouts. But Vills running all the way back to the TC. Finally, the spears are there for some pokes. But still, there are a couple of idle Vills here. So it's not easy, right? It's so tricky to get your Vills back to work after being raided.
Yeah.
And look at this, more TCs from Daniel. So he's not even going to force the issue and finish off Smokey right away. He'll just add the TCs and get a huge eco lead to be on 3 TCs before Smokey even gets a chance to click up to the Castle Age.
Again, this just feels so reminiscent of Hera. You know, good aggression early on. I guess it's more like Leary, but you get a lead and then you just add TCs behind it. And then there's just no way your opponent will ever catch up to you.
And here are the Cav archers moving forward. As archers on the hill will force them back.
Still 2 minutes to Castle Age, and the Palisades will only keep out a Castle Age army for so long. Smokey's trying, though. Again, Smokey has not gone down with a whimper in any of these games. I, for one, am glad to see a great up-and-coming American player.
So there's gold mining and, 50% to Castle Age. Now, but here come the Vietnamese Cav archers. So we've seen Cav archers all the time, right? We've seen Khmer Cav archers, Persian Cav archers, Vietnamese Cav archers. Cav archers everywhere.
Again, is it a pathfinding thing exclusively?
For Cav archers?
Why Cav archers, Skirman Cav archer is so dominant right now?
Well, I think, remember, they did make the crossbow upgrade more expensive while also increasing the price to buy food. And I think that just makes it harder to get the timings that used to make crossbows more effective. And they didn't really change anything about skirms and Cav archers, though. So you get up, you don't need the food to start doing Cav archers like you do crossbows.
But we still see crossbowmen play all the time. I mean, Smokey's literally doing it right now, and he's done it in, I think, 3 of the games this series. It feels like what completely disappeared is when people would go double stable knights in early Castle Age and not have any range opponent.
But I think it's just more like when we have civs that have bonuses now, since the Cav Archer itself is a stronger unit than the crossbow, the bonus tends to apply more impactfully to the Cav Archer than it does to the crossbow. Right, so we have Vietnamese with more HP, but would you rather... What is it? It's 20% HP. 20% HP on the Cav Archer is more than 20% on the crossbow, so you're getting more benefit from it. Or anything that fires faster, or any Cav bonus also benefits the Cav Archers. I think we just have so many civs that have bonuses that affect them now, whereas it used to be a lot of crossbows. So the way kind of the tide is turned from bonuses, they tend to affect Cav Archers more.
I mean, a lot of civs have been added that have bonuses to, mounted units, whereas bonuses, it felt used to just very specifically apply to Cav archers or not at all. Like Mongols and Huns, it was literally just Cav archers.
Or the Saracens. Remember when the Saracens had extra attack versus buildings on their cav archers?
Well, to be fair, they also had a separate bonus that was extra attack versus buildings for foot archers, and they still have it as a team bonus.
Yeah, but I think it's just a lot of bonuses that target them now, like the Parthian tactics too for the Persians.
Yep.
I don't know, it's weird, right? They're also cheaper than they used to be. Like in AOC, it was only the Huns who made them because they had the discount. Now they're just kind of cheaper for everyone.
I mean, I do think that the more controllability helps ranged unit play a lot. I mean, people are just so good at micro and babysitting units now, and there's only so much you can do with a melee unit. Eventually, you just need to let it try and swing and hit stuff.
Yeah. I also think skirms were kind of so dominant. I feel that skirms are better against crossbows than they are against cav archers, because cav archers at least can run away. And skirms take one fight against crossbows. We kind of saw that in the first game on Evacuation. Where you go skirm versus crossbow, and suddenly you're forced to make a quicker transition with the crossbowmen than I think you would be with cav archers.
Yeah, and I guess also in part it feels like more civs have a better archery range than they used to. Felt like back in ye olde days you had a greater percentage of the civs that just didn't have good archers. Which is probably part of the reason why we don't see Teutons, Celts, Slavs all that often.
Yeah. Also, the fact that the cav archer is so good against knights, it kind of shuts down the knight play. I think that sometimes, also since we see castle ages come in a lot faster than we had in the past, you can't really get to the early knights, and that timing where it takes a long time to amass cav archers doesn't really get punished because you start amassing them so much earlier compared to knight production, and knights still take so much more eco than cav archers.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, is you're hitting Castle Age with far fewer villagers than you used to.
Yeah. So rocket carts go down. And we're seeing how the cav archer just kind of, over time, it's a stronger unit than the crossbow. So much more HP, more attack. The only thing the crossbow has over it is range, but if you're trying to camp and use the range, you're giving up a lot of map control.
And
there's
GG
the
Well Played
GG.
Congrats comes in, and Daniel will win this series 4-1, as one expected going into the tournament, but still a good finals. And I don't think that Smokey should be too unhappy with how that went, because he put in a lot of good fight.
I mean, I don't think there's anything surprising about a 4-1 score where the one game was Daniel doing something very silly.
And then resigning instantly from it.
Yeah, so that's if you had an expectation for USA Cup Finals, that's probably it.
Yep, that checks out for sure.
But still, I think Smokey, give him credit at least for those first two games. That was a very, very interesting evacuation game, and an arena game that he didn't quite figure out, but it felt like he still had opportunities where maybe a bit more experience with the Muisca, he could have turned things around.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's definitely room for improvement with him, and you can sort of see how he's becoming a better player. But yeah, it was fun to cast the finals with UT West. Thanks for asking me to do it and represent our country.
Oh yeah, and finally my internet held up properly for a stream. All right, well thanks for the co-cast, Orlando. I will talk to you later.
Are you still streaming or are you heading off?
I am probably gonna head off because I need to finish doing maps. I might stream again later tonight, but I'm probably gonna head off right now.
All right, I will too. See you later, man.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
All right, thanks again to Ornlu for the co-cast. Paradox is telling me there's an interview. I think I'm just gonna raid T90 and T90 can do the interview. You don't need too many people interviewing at once. So again, thank you all for watching. And I'm gonna be in Brazil. I'll probably do some travel streams. I'll probably do what I can to stream from the event, but I still don't know exactly how that's gonna work out. Hello, Black IP. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll be doing a lot of streaming once I get back from Brazil too, because we're gonna have Rage Force coming up over the summer. So thank you everyone who was here in both of our chats, and we'll go send a raid over to T90 on Twitch. And we'll see you Maybe later tonight we'll play some games if you're over on Twitch. We'll see how quickly I get done with the maps, so I'll see you later.